Another competition we've been running and will be running throughout the weekend is thanks to our friends at Bright Network, and they're offering £500 to the club who sign up the most members at their stall throughout the weekend. That's going to run until the end of Sunday, but that is the leaderboard as it stands. Keelan Darby enjoyed 5th place. So why are you celebrating that? You don't win anything for 5th. Southampton 4th, Surrey 3rd, York 2nd, and Sheffield Hallam on home turf. Currently in the lead. If they stay there, come Sunday evening, they will be winning £500 for their club. But it's still open to all of the clubs. Go and meet our friends at Bright Network, sign up, and you can win £500 for your club. In the meantime, let's find out a little bit more about Bright Network and everything that they can offer you as you go into the real world.
So much support from Bright Network that without them, I'm not sure I would have been able to get the job that I did.
It kind of breaks down jobs and grad schemes and things available in a way that was really easy for me to understand and apply to.
It was a mixture of the website and obviously the commercial awareness updates I got via my email.
Really easy to navigate. There is like thousands of internships you can just pick from on their pages.
So without Bright Network, I wouldn't even know the role existed.
Great to have so many spectators here for this afternoon session. We've got some great swimming, but as you will see, there are some empty seats. Those of you currently leaning on the balcony with the blue curtain behind you, underneath the scoreboard, I'd like you to make your way to some of those empty seats, please, because unfortunately, you are unable to watch the swimming from there. You're moving a great deal slower than those this morning. Must have had too much for lunch.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Ponds Forge International Sports Centre here in the city of Sheffield for the 2019.
So much support from Bright Network that without them, I'm not sure I would have been able to get the job that I did.
It kind of breaks down jobs and grad schemes and things available in a way that was really easy for me to understand and apply to.
It was a mixture of the website and obviously the commercial awareness updates I got via my email.
Really easy to navigate. There is like thousands of internships that you can just pick from on their pages.
So without Bright Network, I wouldn't even know the role existed.
Yes, once again, welcome back to Poolside. We're with you live here at Ponds Forge International.
And welcome back to the women's stream of the Speedo and BUCS Swimming Series Short Course Championships. This is the feed for the women's event. If you want to watch any of the male events, if you go back to YouTube or the BUCS website, and you can watch it on live as like we're going with this. Session 3 will get underway very shortly, and we're here at the City of Sheffield in the Ponds Forge International Pool. And the events that we will be looking forward to today are the 200 metres backstroke, the 50 metres freestyle, the 200 metres breaststroke, the 400 metres individual medley, the medley relay, and the 800 metres freestyle. There's quite a few races going on here, and there's quite a few heats, and we will go through them as we go along. The big one to look forward to is the 50 freestyle, where all five, the top 5 finishers of last year are still in the student area, and they're able to take part. So we'll be looking forward to see if Emily Barclay can beat her record of 24:51 last season. So we're all ready to go, and we'll be starting with the women's 200 metres backstroke. And we have in lane 0, Lauren McLeay from Stirling. In lane 1, we have Rebecca Williams from Leeds Beckett. Lane 2, Caitlin Duffy from Queen Margaret in Edinburgh. Lane 3, Olivia Tatton from BUCS New University. Lane 4 is Charlotte Evans, the silver medalist last year from Loughborough. Lane 5 is Jessica Shaw from Birmingham. Lane 6 is Emma Rowson from Edinburgh. Lane 7 is Amy Buttle from Surrey. Lane 8, Sophia Allen from Nottingham. And in lane 9, we've got Megan Harries from Durham. They will be the swimmers in the heat 3 of the events, because as we did this morning, they will swim the 3 fastest heats at the start of the session in each of the 6 events, and then we will have the remainder of the heats following the final, the fastest heat of the 800 metres freestyle. So as we get started to go, it's the women's 200 metres backstroke. This is heat number 3. And that's a good start there from Jessica Shaw in lane 5 as she turns first at the end of the first part of the. And that was a good turn there, and it's now neck and neck between Jessica Shaw and Charlotte Evans, the 2 finalists from last year. Jessica Shaw finishing 7th and Charlotte Evans taking the silver medal. And it's now starting to move it out, and Charlotte Evans is starting to open a little bit of a gap as we come to the halfway mark of this first heat of the 200 metres backstroke for women. The BUCS Championship is brought to you in partnership with Speedo and the BUCS partners of Camp America and Bright Network. Please follow and support them, because without their help the championship would not be as good as we have. And as we're coming up to the 150 metres mark, it's still Charlotte Evans in the lead from Loughborough. The record is held by Catherine Greenslade from Edinburgh, where she set a time of 2 minutes 5.33 in 2017. And Charlotte Evans is going to come and touch first to set the first pace time of 2:11.06, followed by Jessica Shaw from Birmingham in 2:14.05. And that's heat 3. Now we move on to heat number 4. And we have in this heat Lauren Goldsmith from Surrey, Mattia J. Oliver from Swansea, Daniel Rayner from Stirling, Jasmine Illy from Bath, Courtney Price from Nottingham Trent, Lotta Upan from Stirling, Alia Webb from Bath, Elise Headley from Bath, Ella Menso from Leeds, and Ellen Winters from Lancaster. They will be your participants in heat number 4 of the women's 200 metres backstroke. And this is heat number 4 and the penultimate one of the whole session here for the backstroke. And it's a good long start there by Jasmine Lee in lane 3, and she turns it first. And then Courtney Price starting to open. She finished 6th in last year's event, so she's moving forward. She's been put under pressure there by Elise Headley from Bath down in lane 7. So the swimmer in lane 5 is not swimming, is Lotta Upan from Stirling. As we're coming up to the halfway mark, there's 4 of them starting to pull away. And it's Courtney Payne leading from Alia Webb from Bath, Elise Headley from Bath, and Jasmine Illy from Bath. So it's not the Nottingham Trent swimmer, Courtney Price, leading a triumvirate of Bath swimmers in this 4th heat of the women's 200 metres backstroke at the Speedo and BUCS Short Course Swimming Championships 2019. And as they're coming forward, Courtney Price is coming up to enter the last 50 metres here, and she's opening a bit of a lead over the other 3 with Jasmine Illy and Alia Webb just dropping back, and Elise Headley being dropped by the 2nd and 3rd place swimmers. And turning first, Courtney Price from Nottingham Trent, and followed by Jasmine Illy from Bath and Alia Webb from Bath. And the swimmers for the fastest heat of the women's 200 metres backstroke. There will be Alex Mason from Cardiff, Hayley Briggs from Royal Holloway, Tegan Drew, Surrey, Becca Sutton, Swansea, Catherine Greenslade, the record holder and last year's champion from Edinburgh, Cassie Wilde, Stirling, Anna Marley, Loughborough, Imogen Hunt, Cardiff Met, Sophie Dodd, Stirling, and Tegan Galbraith from Manchester. So we have got the defending champion, well, double defending champion, because she won it in 2017, 2018, and she'll be going for the hat-trick this year, and see if she can get near to her record in the finals if she makes it through, of 2 minutes 5.33. And the fastest time, qualifier times at the moment, is for Charlotte Evans in 2:11.06. And straight away, it's a move from Cassie Weld from Stirling opening out. And she leads Catherine Greenslade and Anna Marley. So at the first split, it's still Cassie Weld leading Kath Greenslade and Anna Marley, followed by Becca Sutton and Imogen Hunt. And as we reach the halfway mark, it's still Cassie Weld leading from Anna Marley and Catherine Greenslade, still keeping the same sort of distance behind her as we enter the second half of the race here at the Ponds Forge in Sheffield. And Catherine Greenslade is starting to make a bit of a move, and she over that third 50 metres, and she turns in the lead at the last changeover. As she's taken a gap, she turned that about 2 seconds on Cassie Weld as she starts moving away. As she enters the last 25 metres, so she looks like she's going to win it, following by Cassie Weld. And then the movement from Becca Sutton. So winning it in a time of 2:08.64. The fastest time will be Catherine Greenslade from Edinburgh, followed by Cassie Weld from Stirling and Anna Marley from Loughborough. So Catherine Greenslade will potentially go as the fastest qualifier there, going the only person to go sub 2 minutes 10. And so that was the fastest heat for the women's 200 metres backstroke. We now move on to the women's 50 metres freestyle. There is 42 heats of this, but we've only got currently the fastest 3, and it is the strongest of the races because there are 8 of the 10 finalists from last year still involved, including Emma Barclay, who set the new record in 2015. The Loughborough student winning there quite comfortably, setting a record. And the first 5 are all here. So quickly run through the competitors in the heat number 40, which is the third last fastest. It's Victoria Russell from Stirling, Emily Spencer from Edgehill, Morgan Penny, Surrey, Amy Godsave, Loughborough, Lucy Hope, Edinburgh, Rachel Masson, Edinburgh, Amy Grant from Loughborough, Juliette Cassini from Edinburgh, Spencer Williams from Oxford, and Molly Ollington from Anglia Ruskin. That'll be heat 40 out of the 42 that we're going to get in this event. This is a women's 50 metres freestyle. And it goes, it's a good quick race here, and it's very, very close between Amy Godsave, Lucy Hope and Rachel Masson as they come through down onto the second 50. It looks like it is Lucy Hope who's just got a bit of an edge as they're coming forward, but it's going to be very, very close, and the winner is going to be Lucy Hope from Edinburgh, who touches first in a time of 25.60, followed by Rachel Masson of our teammate from Edinburgh, and then Amy Godsave from Loughborough. So that's the marker sent down of 25.60 from Lucy Hope for people to qualify for the final this evening. Now the second heat is the one who has got the defending champion Emily Barclay in lane 4. We have got Holly Hildrew from Birmingham, Rihanna Smith, Queen Mary, Sophia Alstoft, Stirling, Sophie Smith, Edinburgh, Emily Barclay, Loughborough, Danielle Hill, Ulster, Anita McCartney, Edinburgh. Bronze medalists last year, Katie Latham from Kent, Jasmine Illy from Bath, and Emma Scobie from Strathclyde. And it's a quick start there from them all. So we're looking at what Emily Barclay can do in lane 4, and she leads out to that start, and she might be under a bit of pressure from Katie Latham in lane 7. So it's Emily Barclay from Loughborough, and who gets the touch? Emily Barclay first, Katie Latham in second, 25.06. In the winning position there for Emily Barclay from Loughborough. Second place was Katie Latham from Kent, and in third place Danielle Hill from Ulster. And now for the final heat of these three. The swimmers are Rachel Cox, Bath, Stephanie Williams, Leeds, Yasmin Perry, Aberdeen, Imogen Clark, Loughborough, Marie Wattle, Loughborough, Emily Crane, Loughborough, Emily Peck, Manchester Met, Jana Spinner, Bath, Jessica Calderbank, Salford, and Louisa Zolkiewicz from Oxford. So we've got the silver medalist here, Emily Crane in lane 5 from Loughborough, and the person that just missed out the middle, Imogen Clark in lane 4. And it's Imogen Clark that's led away, and she's coming up and she surfaces first on the back second length, so she's moving forward to see if she can set the fastest time of it, and she sets a time 24.86. that is the fastest time so far of the heat, so she will go in as the fastest qualifier. And then a joint second from Imogen Clark and Emily Crane, who will be on either side of her, but will be separated by Catherine Greenslade. So that is only marginally outside the record that was set last year, so 0.35 outside. So hopefully come the final they will up the game and push it further. And swiftly we'll then move on to the fastest three heats of the women's 200 metres breaststroke. There are 7 heats in total, but this will be the heat number 5. And the swimmers are Emily Selin, East Anglia, Alexandra Stringer, Manchester Met, Katie McKenzie, University of West of Scotland, Ciara Fletcher, Nottingham, Cara Hanlon, Edinburgh, Rachel Taylor, Newcastle, Aliana Lawson, Newcastle, Caitlin Day, Birmingham, Jasmine Smith, Edinburgh, and Amy Jessie Young from Robert Gordon's. We've got 3 of the finalists from the event last year. Cara Hanlon, who finished 4th, Rachel Taylor, who finished 6th, and Ciara Fletcher, who finished 8th. So the Edinburgh, Newcastle and Nottingham swimmers that are in lanes 3, 4 and 5. The record for this event, the 200 metres breaststroke, is held by Jocelyn Ouliette from Loughborough, who set it in 2017 in a time of 2:21.16. So moving out from the front, we've got Cara Hanlon from Edinburgh setting the pace, flanked by Ciara Fletcher from Nottingham at the top of the picture, and Rachel Taylor that's just below her from Newcastle. So Cara Hanlon still leading the way at the halfway mark, followed by Rachel Taylor and Kira Fletcher. And as we turn for the last 50 metres, it's still Cara Hanlon in the lead with Kira Fletcher and Rachel Taylor in second and third place. But coming up just on the outside of Rachel Taylor is Aliana Lawson, her Newcastle teammate. So at the moment it's Edinburgh, Nottingham, then Newcastle, Newcastle. And Aliana Lawson is just taken over from Rachel Taylor following that, the final turn at the top of the pool. And it's going to be a win there for Cara Hanlon, who wins in, well the time hasn't become 2:29.77, followed by Kira Fletcher in 2:31.73 and Aliana Lawson in 2:32.76. And now we'll move on to heat number 6, which is the second from last heat, and we have got the bronze medalist Megan Morrison swimming in lane 4. So the swimmers for this heat number 6 is Chelsea Bean in lane 1 from East Anglia, in 2 Ellie Ward from Nottingham, lane 2 Laura Hawkins from Swansea, lane 3 Annabel Gee Johnson from Edinburgh, in 4 Megan Morrison from Loughborough, lane 5 Carmela Kitchen from Loughborough, lane 6 Charlie Nelson from Birmingham, lane 7 Eleanor Bird from Birmingham, lane 8 Hannah Edwards from Swansea, and lane 9 Emily Walsh from Glasgow. We have got the bronze medalist, as I say, Megan Morrison will be swimming in lane 4, and the 5th placed finish last year, Annabel Gee Thompson from Edinburgh in lane 3. And we've got the time to beat for the fastest swimmer that was set by Cara Hanlon in the last heat of 2:29.77. And it's Megan Morrison that leads the way at the start, from just touching slightly ahead of Carmela Kitchen, her Loughborough teammate, at the first turn. And Megan Morrison now leading the way slightly from Carmela Kitching and Annabel Gee Thompson. So the three of them in the middle of the pool are pushing on, with Megan Morrison, the bronze medalist from Loughborough, going to be touching first at the halfway mark by the looks of it, followed by her teammate Carmela Kitching, and then Annabel Gee Johnson from Edinburgh. So it's the two Loughborough swimmers starting to pull away from the Edinburgh athlete in lane 3. And as we enter the last 50 metres, it's Megan Morrison leading the way again from Carmela Kitchen.
Chillingworth takes the win over in pool number 1. Britain in second
So will she get inside the time of Cara Hanlon of 2:29.77 as she enters the last 5 metres here? She just stretches out and stretches to touch in a time of 2:26.67, followed by her teammate Carmela Kitchen, who's second fastest at the moment of 2:28.63. And then it's third place from Annabel Guy Johnson from Edinburgh. And now we move on to the final heat of the fastest round rotation. And in lane 1 of heat 7 is Tegan Parker from Leeds. Lane 1 will be Naomi Van Dongen from Bath. Lane 2 is Denisa Elena Gogo from Manchester. Lane 3 is Amy Bell from Sheffield Hallam. Lane 4 is last year's silver medalist Katie Matz from Manchester Met. Lane 5 is Katie Robertson from Edinburgh. Lane 6 is Natalie Coogans from Stirling. Lane 7, Anne Hutchinson from Edinburgh. Lane 8, Leah Williams, Manchester Met. And in lane 9, Maddie Barnaby from Bath. They are in the final heat 7 of the 3 fastest heats.
Pool 2 are ready with 200 breaststroke heat 7.
And the last heat is just about to go. And it's lane 5 and Katie Robertson from Edinburgh that turns first at the 25 in this 200 metres breaststroke at the BUCS and Speedo Short Course Swimming Championships 2019.
Craig Benson takes it home. Gets the win for Stirling. Daniel Lim, Harriet Watt in second. Ross Young in Edinburgh in third place.
And turning first is Kate Matz from Manchester Met, who's just overturned that from Katie Robertson from Edinburgh. And as we get through the 75, it's the same two that are in front. Katie Matz from Manchester in lane 4 and Katie Robertson in lane 5. And it's still both of them, Katie Matz and Katie Robertson, the two Katies that are leading the way at the turn. At a time of just over 1:10 they turned in. So they'll be pushing each other quite harsh as they come down into the last 75 metres. As Katie Matz just ahead of Katie Robertson. That was a good turn there by Katie Robertson as she comes out just marginally ahead as they come down to the 150 turn. And at the turn, there's nothing between them. There is nothing between them, so they are nip and tuck here. And then but it looks like Katie Robertson has just pulled out slightly as we come up to the 175 marker here. Again, very little between them as they're pushing forward. So they're looking to beat 2:26.67 to be in the middle lane for the races this evening. And it's 2:26.41, 2:26.66. They will be either side of Megan Morrison, who will be second qualifier. So Katie Matz from Manchester Met will be going as the fastest qualifier. Katie Robertson will go in as third fastest qualifier. And that concludes the fastest 3 heats of the women's 200 metres breaststroke. We now have 3 heats, 3 of the 4 heats of the women's open 400 metres IM at the Speedo and BUCS Short Course Championship 2019. We'll start with heat 2. And we will have in lane 1, we have Amy Richardson from Glasgow Caledonian. In lane 2, we have Merrin Thompson from Dundee. In lane 3, Hannah Rowe from Keele. In lane 4, Daisy Mefan from Nottingham. Lane 5, Aim Jessie Young from Robert Gordon's. Lane 6, Esme Pearce from Exeter. Lane 7, Jane Oberhauser from King's College. And in lane 8, we've got Elisa Evans, also from King's College. That will be in heat 2 of the women's 400 metres IM.
Ready to go in pool number 2. This is heat 8 of the women's 200 medley. Correction, it is heat 2 of the 400 individual medley.
So the 400 metres individual medley. For those that are watching for the first time, that's when they'll, for the two, because it's a 25 metre pool, they'll do 4 lengths of butterfly, then 4 lengths of backstroke, 4 lengths of breaststroke, and then 4 lengths of freestyle.
400 individual medley underway in both pools then, as has become customary of the Speedo BUCS Short Course Championships. Stacking the fastest heats, the first 3, and then we'll go into the slower heats as the session progresses. So a rundown of the competitors. Marcus Birmingham of Birmingham goes in lane 0. That's a bit postmodern. James King of Surrey goes in 1. Finley Ryan, Sheffield Hallam in 2. No swimmer in lane 3, so it's Newcastle's Sam Naylor next in lane 4. Julian Marabotto of Surrey is in 5. His teammate from Surrey, Ruben Alexander, is in 6. Ryan Huddart, 7. Tom Robinson of Aberdeen in 8. Tom Jeffers, Glasgow in 9. In the women's pool, in lane 1, from Glasgow Caledonia, Amy Richardson.
And turning after the butterfly leg, we've got Daisy Meffin from Nottingham, followed by Hannah Rowe from Keele and Amy Richardson from Glasgow Caledonian.
In 6, Jane Oberhauser from King's College is in 7. Also singing for King's College, Alyssa Evans is in lane 8.
I'd like to take the opportunity here to thank the event partners and of the Speedo and BUCS Short Course Swimming Championship 2019. These are of course Speedo and Camp America and Bright Network. They are all present here, but I know you're watching online, but please go and have a look and try and support these companies, because without their support this event wouldn't be as good as it can be. So do hashtag SpeedoBucks to find out what people are tweeting and on Instagram about this. So you've got the Bright Network who helps place students when they're graduated. You've got Camp America, which gives the opportunity for students to spend time in America by working at summer camps and then getting the opportunity to travel. And Speedo, the internationally renowned swimwear company that is based in the UK, and how they're trying to support university sport within the United Kingdom. As we're now coming up to the first part of the breaststroke leg, and it is Daisy Meffin who is still leading the way ahead of Hannah Rowe from Keele. It's these two that have been out from the start And then in third place you've got Amy Richardson, closely followed by Merrin Thompson.
Barely inside of Manchester in 0, James Bilbao, Manchester Met in 1, Rory Dixon, Sterling in 2, from Birmingham, William Slauson in 3, Reese Ormonde Cunningham of Loughborough in 4, Fraser Allison, Edinburgh Napier in 5, in 6, it's Harry Lewis Mitchell from Edinburgh, Harriet Knowles, Daniel Ferguson goes in 7th, from Nottingham, Aaron Priest in 8th, and Miles Dramwell of Bath is in lane 9.
As we're coming up to the final turn here, it's still Daisy Meffin in the lead from Hannah Rowe. So the Nottingham swimmer is going to touch first, moving into the last legs of the swimming and the freestyle. As we come to the final turn, it's still Daisy Meffin there from Nottingham leaving Hannah Rowe, and there's a battle on for the third place between Merrin Thompson from Dundee in lane 2 and Amy Richardson from Glasgow Caledonian in lane 1. And it's Merrin Thompson from Dundee who was just getting the head, but winning in a time of 5:23.02 is Daisy Meffin from Nottingham, followed by Hannah Rowe from Keele, and touching third is Merrin Thompson from Dundee. So setting the time of the 5:27.02.
Top 3 from 400, individual medley heat 2 in pool 2, Daisy Meffin picks up the win, Hannah Rowe second place, Merrin Thompson in third.
So that was heat number 2. Now we're moving on to heat number 3. And we have in this event, in lane 0, Becky Merrill from Anglia Ruskin. Lane 1 will be Eva Vickery from Coventry. Lane 2, Zara Ryan, Oxford. Lane 3, Lucy Hawley, Birmingham. Lane 5,
Next in pool 2, heat 3.
Amy Farning, Swansea. Lane 6, Marvin Adams, Dundee. Lane 7, Mattia J. Oliver from Swansea. Lane 8, Georgia Williams from Sheffield Hallam. And lane 9, Claire Thompson from Glasgow. And we have a finalist of the... She finished 9th last year, is Amy Farthing from Swansea, who's swimming in lane 5, and they've just been asked to stand down.
For 25.98 is the winning time for Will Slauson of Birmingham. In behind him, Aaron Priest of Nottingham, and it's tight between Loughborough and Edinburgh Napier. But third place goes to Reese from Loughborough. 429.44. So let's go back to pool number 2, where they're ready with heat 3.
And after that brief delay, we are underway in the heat number 3 of the women's 400 metres individual medley at the Speedo and BUCS Short Course Swimming Championship 2019. And opening up in the top, we've got Zara Ryan, who has dropped out, and it's Lucy Hawley who leads the way from Birmingham. And Marvin Adams from Dundee going to be turning first at the midway point of the butterfly legs.
In lane 0. In heat 3 we have Becky Ruskin. Eva Vickery, Coventry goes in 1. No swimmer in lane 2. Then there's Lucy Hawley in 3. UWS represented by Katie Mackenzie in 4. Amy Farthing and Swansea in 5. Morgan Adams, Dundee in 6. Matea J. Oliver, Swansea in 7. In lane 8. Georgia Williams of Sheffield Hallam, and in 9 from Glasgow, it's Claire Thompson.
And at the end of the butterfly leg, it's Lucy Hawley from Birmingham that leads the way, followed by Marvin Adams from Dundee and Katie Mackenzie from the University of West of Scotland. So it's these 3 that are leading the way at the moment as we move into the back crawl leg, and it's still Lucy Hawley and Marvin Adams that are leading the way there in the back crawl as we're coming to the midway point of that section of the race. But coming back is Amy Farthing and Katie Mackenzie, so it's not much in it between first and third at the moment. And Amy Farthing, backstroke, is pulling back on Marvin Andrews, so she's just about to move into second place here on the third of the 4 lengths of back crawl, and she turns in second place coming up to the last 25 metres of the backstroke section, and Lucy Hawley is still hanging in there, so it's Lucy Hawley leading from Amy Farthing and Kate Mackenzie, then Marvin Andrews.
The first voucher is currently in the Speedo.
So there is it's Lucy Hawley that's trying to pull away, and the other 4 are quite close together for second, third, fourth and fifth position. And there's a move coming from Matea J. Oliver in lane number 7. But Lucy Hawley starting to pull away at the front with her breaststroke. So it's Lucy Hawley from Katie Mackenzie, so the Birmingham student leads West of Scotland. And then it's Marvin Andrews from Dundee, seems to just be starting to push Amy Farthing. And Matea J. Oliver seems to be getting dropped off a wee bit by Swansea, but Lucy Hawley is starting to pull away in this last part of the breaststroke leg. And she turns in 3:50.88. Followed by Kate Mackenzie from the West of Scotland and Amy Farthing from Swansea. So she will be looking to set a good time because this is a heat declared winner event, and these are the 3 fastest heats. So it's almost a do or die now to make sure that you get the fastest time you can. So Lucy Hawley is pushing as she comes into the last 50 metres of her swim. And up in lane 1 we've got Eva Vickery, who's starting to come back from Coventry, so it's between Eva Vickery and Amy Farthing for Katie Mackenzie for second place here, and Lucy Hawley starting to pull away a lot, looking for the good time to see if she can set it, and she touches in first place, and she sets the fastest time so far in 5 minutes .52. Then Eva Vickery gets into second place in 5:05.56, and Marvin Andrews in third place at 5:09.70. So at the moment, the gold, silver and bronze goes to Lucy. It's the way they finished there. Lucy Hawley currently the fastest, followed by Eva Vickery and then Marvin Andrews, with one heat to go of the women's open 400 metres IM. But in this fastest heat, as you would say, we've got the silver and bronze medalists from last year. So heat 4 in lane 0 will be Katie Robertson from Edinburgh. Lane 1, Molly Francis from Loughborough. Lane 2, Megan Byrne from Bath. Lane 3, Katie Matt from Manchester Met. Lane 4, Amber Keegan from Sheffield. Lane 5, silver medalist last year Candice Hall from Loughborough. Lane 6, Alice Deering from Loughborough. Lane 7, Victoria Catterson from Edinburgh. Lane 8, Kiana McInnes, the bronze medalist from last year from Stirling. And in lane 9, Millie Emmons from Surrey. The time they have for the gold medal is 5 minutes .52, and that was set by Lucy Hawley in the last heat. So a good start from everybody there, and not quite in a direct line, but they're pushing it hard. And it's Kiana McInnes going out strong on the butterfly leg, just one up from the bottom of the picture here. And alongside her you've got Candice Hall, the silver medal. So the silver and bronze medalists are touching first and second at the first turn at the 50 metres point of the 400 metres medley. And it's Candice Hall now just starting to get a wee bit ahead of Kiana McInnes. But everything can change, because depending on people's strengths in all the different disciplines of the individual medley. So it's going to be Candice Keegan that touches, Candice Hall that's going to touch first from Kiana McInnes, and then Katie Matz from Manchester Met. So it's Loughborough from Stirling from Manchester Met at the moment, with Alice Deering from Loughborough starting to push up in the middle of the pool.
Ready to go with the next heat in pool 1. It's 200 medley, heat 9.
So Candice Hall is leading the way as they come up to the halfway point, with just the breaststroke and freestyle legs still to go. She leads from Katie Matz from Manchester Met, and then Kiana McInnes from Stirling. So it's Loughborough, Manchester Met, Stirling in the first 3 places, with Amber Keegan from Sheffield starting to push up on the breaststroke leg. And it's a moving there coming up from Katie Matz, who's trying to close it down on the breaststroke leg. It's 1.8 seconds between them at the midpoint, with Kiana McInnes drifting back 6 seconds. So it looks like it's going to be between Candice Hall and Katie Matz for winning this race here. And Katie Matz has now really started to pull it out there, so it's nothing to separate Candice Hall and Katie Matz as they're coming up the last part of the last leg of the breaststroke before they move on to the freestyle. And it's Katie Matz that is starting to move into lead as we get into the last 5 metres. And Katie Matz leads by 0.91 of a second, just under a second from Candice Hall. And then it's Katie Robertson at the top from Edinburgh, pushing in to the 3rd position at the moment. And Katie Matz is pushing it on, and then Candice Hall is looking, is she going to get better than she did last year with the silver medalist? She's starting to push a bit further forward as you come into the last 50 metres. The gap has not changed much between the two, so it's all to this last 50 metres to see who wins the race and who can potentially take the gold medal here at the 400 metres IM. And there's a move coming from Kiana McInnes at the bottom of the picture, and she's going to put Katie Robertson from Edinburgh under pressure. But as we're coming through, it's Katie Matz that's leading the Manchester Met student, and she touches first in a time of 4:37.91, which should be enough for the gold medal. Second place, Candice Hall from Loughborough, and the bronze medal potentially will go to Katie Robertson from Edinburgh. There is one more heat to come, but that is technically the slowest heat of the swim. So provisionally the gold medal will be at Katie Matz, and then Candice Hall with the silver and Katie Robertson with the bronze. That's all provisional, depending on the last heat that will happen at the end, towards the end of the session. And we're now going to move on to the women's medley 200 metres medley team event, and we have got 10 heats in this, and we're going to start with heat number 8. And in lane 1 we have Edgehill, lane 0 we have Edgehill, lane 1 Glasgow, lane 2 Leeds Beckett, lane 3 Oxford, lane 4 Edinburgh, lane 5 Birmingham, lane 6 Leeds, lane 7 Bournemouth, lane 8 Cambridge, and in lane 9 we have got Heriot Watt. So this is heat 8 of the Speedo and BUCS Short Course Swimming Championships 2019, and it's a women's 200 metres medley team, the 4x50 medley. And opening up there is Birmingham in lane 5. And they're going to touch first, and then it's going to be a blanket between lanes 1, 6, 7 and 8 as they're pushing on. And it's Birmingham from Edinburgh, and then there's a battle for the 3rd place between Leeds Beckett, Leeds and Bournemouth, but they're pushing through. We've got Cambridge coming through in lane 8 as we enter the butterfly stage of the event. So it's Birmingham pulling away from Edinburgh 2, and then coming up is Cambridge in lane 8, and then Leeds Beckett in lane 2. So they're pushing on here, and it's going to be Birmingham first, Edinburgh 2 in 2nd place. Then it's going to be Cambridge and Leeds Beckett and Leeds. So we're coming through to the final stage of it, and it's Birmingham pushing for this, but again closed down a wee bit by Edinburgh 2, and in first place is Birmingham in 1:56.61, followed by Edinburgh in 1:57.72, and Cambridge in 2 minutes and 75. And now for heat number 9, you will have in lane 0 is Warwick, lane 1 is Aberdeen, in lane 2 is Newcastle, lane 3 is Birmingham, in lane 4 Edinburgh 1, lane 5 Manchester Met, lane 6 Swansea, lane 7 Durham, lane 8 Sheffield Hallam, and in lane 9 we have Bristol. So this is going to be heat number 9 of the women's medley. As I said, the teams are Warwick 1, Aberdeen 1, Newcastle 1, Birmingham 2, Edinburgh 1, Manchester Met 1, Swansea, Durham 1, Sheffield Hallam 1, and Bristol 1.
So these longer distance races, the best way to keep on top of what's happening is by the numbers that the referees hold up there. They're the guys in white, so we can see 22 being turned over. So when these swimmers turn at the top end, they will see that at the change. When we get to the final lap, then all hell breaks loose and the whistle starts to go off again. Absolute carnage down there, but we need to keep all of the swimmers in the know. So now 22 lengths left. These are the 800-metre freestyle. We'll go in the men's and the women. Let's just go through some final preparations to make sure everything is correct and in place before we get underway with heat number 1 in the women's competition. But at the turn there, in lane 8, it's David Broadbent of Sheffield Hallam currently leading this one. But after a great turn, Ryan Haddad of Derby has put himself in contention. As soon as the women get underway, we're going to be meeting our friends, Joe and Ben from Bright Network. So I've not turned your mics on yet, lads, so chill out. Keep all your best jokes for when we do go live. But looking forward to finding out everything that you are offering these wonderful people here at the Pondsport International Sports Centre and how they can get involved, not just today, but beyond as well. This is section 2 of 3 today. We're counting down to the finals later on. We'll be crowning BUCS champions across a number of events from the qualifiers this afternoon and those who swam this morning as well, who hopefully have got their feet up and are ready to put on a great show for everyone. Not just here in the Pondsport International Sports Centre, but also on the live stream as well. Both pools are being broadcast, every single race. So if you've got friends, family who can't make it to Pondsport to watch it, then make sure you tune in online. go in pool number 2. This is 800 freestyle women's.
And now, just a quick run through again of the teams for this event. It's Warwick 1, Aberdeen 1, Newcastle 1, Birmingham 2, Edinburgh 1, Manchester Met 1, Swansea, Durham 1, Sheffield Hallam 1 and Bristol 1. This is heat number 9 of the women's 200 metres medley relay. It's all sort of a level there from lane 0 through to lane 6 as we come up to the first turn, and it's Swansea who are just edging out in the front at the end of the backstroke, closely followed by Manchester Met. So Manchester Met touch first, followed by Swansea, then Edinburgh, and then Aberdeen. And it's Manchester Met pushing it forward there with Swansea just outside them. So it's Manchester Met from Swansea and Edinburgh. So these three are starting to move away, but although in lane Bristol in lane 9 are starting to push, but Manchester Met lead Edinburgh and Swansea, then Newcastle, then Birmingham, Bristol, Sheffield Hallam and Aberdeen. As we enter the butterfly leg, and it's still Manchester Met leading with Swansea and Edinburgh. Pushing in there in the middle. So as you come into the last thing, it's going to be tight here, and it's Manchester from Edinburgh and Swansea in third place there. And Edinburgh starting to push through on the freestyle as they come to and they turn in first place, marginally ahead of Manchester Met, with Swansea pushing up in third place there. And it's going to be tight. It's going to be a victory to Edinburgh. Edinburgh win it from Manchester Met and then from Swansea.
Edinburgh takes heat number 9 in pool 2, then Manchester Met in second place. And then Swansea.
And that is Edinburgh with the fastest time so far. But we do have the defending champions Loughborough in the next heat. So Edinburgh have the fastest time so far in 1:56.22. And in the fastest heat, it's lane 0 is Manchester 1, lane 1 East Anglia 1, 2, and lane 2 is Surrey 1, lane 3 is Bath, lane 4 Loughborough 1, lane 5 Notts Trent, and lane 6 Cardiff Met, lane 7 Nottingham 1, lane 8 York 2, and in lane 9 Manchester Met 2. This is the final heat, so the fastest heat of the women's 200 metre medley team. After this, we will move on to the women's 800 metres freestyle events, which they have got two heats. And a good start there in lane 4 from Loughborough as they move into an early lead. And they're just ahead of Bath in lane 3. And lane with Cardiff Met pushing forward into second place, but coming nip and tuck between East Anglia and Surrey. So it's Loughborough lead from Bath, from East Anglia at the first takeover. And Loughborough are then pushing it forward with Bath just above them in lane 3. And then it's Surrey and East Anglia. So it's Loughborough, Bath, Surrey, East Anglia at the moment. But they're coming back from Cardiff Met. But it's going to be Loughborough who turn first at the breaststroke to butterfly leg, followed by Bath, Surrey and then Nottingham. So it's still Loughborough, Bath, Surrey and Nottingham at the moment in the first 4 places as Loughborough touch first. Then it's Bath, followed by Surrey and East Anglia just getting in ahead of Nottingham. And Loughborough looking to put in a good time here. And they're coming for it, and they touch first and set the fastest time of 1:53.88. And in second place we've got Bath, 1:57.44, followed by Surrey and East Anglia, Nottingham, and then Notts Trent. So a lot of good times in there. So we will see there will be an A final and a B final this evening, and then we'll see if any of the later teams can get into either the final or the A or B final. We then move on now to the women's 800 metres freestyle. There is only 2 heats here, and they are in heat 1. In lane 0 is Hannah Blake from Cardiff Met. In lane 1, Hannah Edwards from Swansea. In lane 2, Sophie Dodd from Stirling. Lane 3, Brooke Laurie in Aberdeen. Lane 4, Ellie Corby from Oxford. Lane 5 is Georgina Walker from Derby. Lane 6, Nia Evans from Manchester. Lane 7, Lara Reid from Oxford. And lane 8 is Isabel Gonzalez from Oxford. There's only 2 heats in this, and the record that they may be going for is from Ellie Faulkner from Sheffield Hallam that was set way back in 2013 of 8:24.77. So as we're watching this as it goes, it's quite easy. Nobody's setting the pace at the moment, but it's actually Georgina Walker that's setting the pace slightly ahead of Ellie Corby. So the Derby swimmer leading the Oxford swimmer, and then Nia Evans from Manchester at the first sort of turn. So it's the bottom end of the pool there where it's going. So it's Georgina Walker from Ellen Corby, but Ellie Corby is coming back at them as they turn at the 75 metre mark with Nia Evans still holding on at the back. So Ellie Corby is just starting to edge slightly ahead of Georgina Walker. So Georgina Walker is starting to pull away there in the middle of the pool.
Hopefully that will be able to kind of, give you what you need. Or you could even spend it on your favourite announcer as well. Right, let's pass that on for now. I've got a bit close to you like, no, took you 30, I'll bring you back in. What's the uptake been like? Great to have you here. Loads of positivity around Comsport. But what's it been like dealing with the students here? Yeah, it's been fantastic. Obviously, focused on the swimming, the women's got a bit of time off. We've had some really great conversations about careers. And also I think people are pretty keen to get their club to the top of the league board on the competition as well. into the big wide world and get a real job. In fact, I still don't have one, but most of the people in here will, and that'll be something that's really in their consideration. Let's say it how it is. Someone like Bright Networks or people like you really can help, can't you? Yeah, absolutely. So through us, about 14,000 students have already secured a role over the last 5 years. We work with, let's say, about 300 leading employers. So we really do help. Lots of advice, lots of events to make sure that students are getting up skills throughout the time at university and also finding a topic to they want to work for. And is it mostly UK-based jobs that you deal with? Yeah, it's usually international, UK and international companies, but most of the jobs are across the UK and Europe as well. Alright, finally then, just give them a reminder of where they can find you and what they can find out if they come and spend some time with Bright Networks this weekend.
Amazing. So we're just on the balcony as you come in, the orange banners and also the orange t-shirts, you can't miss us. Make sure that you spread the word to your society and club members. Ultimately, there's £500 on the line for you to be able to win. Like I said, currently Sheffield Hallam winning, University of York in there and Surrey in there as well. Somebody kind of make sure that you're kind of doing as much as you can to win that £500.
When we say Sheffield Hallam, I can hear woo, so that means people are listening. Boys, I will leave you to it. Great to have a chat, great to have you here as well. Thank you to Bright Networks for the continuing support. You can't miss the lads, they're in their orange polo shirts. Sign up, win your society £500, but more importantly than that, chat to them about how they can help you as you transition from university into the big wide world. Thank you very much, gents. Look forward to chatting later on in the weekend. Top men, Bright Networks. There go the whistles. It's like FIFA Club Classics all over again. Jane Elliott picks up the W in heat number 2. Luton Turley of Barton behind it. Then Asterios Zaldoggianis of Loughborough in 7:58.09 picks up third place in 800 freestyle heat 2. Once again, could Edinburgh please send a coach to the Amiga timing suite? Edinburgh, please send a coach to the Amiga timing suite. Now we move on to men's 200 backstroke in pool 1.
as we enter the last 100 metres there for the leader, Georgina Walker from Derby. So she's actually coming up to lap 1 or 2 of the other swimmers, but it's the 50 metre pool, so it's Georgina Walker. We'll be looking at setting a time for the other swimmers to aim for as she comes up to the 750 metre mark here. She's got a time of 8:48.27. And she's putting on a little bit of a spurt here to finish off, and she touches in a time of 9 minutes 22.91 seconds. So Georgina Walker from Derby. And the rest of the swimmers are coming through for their last laps here. So that is a time that they will all be aiming for in this heat declared winner. And second place goes to Hannah Edwards from Swansea. So Derby first, Swansea second, then Sophie Dodd from Stirling, Lara Reid from Oxford, Brooke Laurie from Nia Evans from Manchester, and then Hannah Edwards from Swansea. So that's the end of the penultimate heat. Now we're going to have it's the fastest heat, and it's a heat declared. If they get inside 9:22.91, they will have the gold medal. And we will have in lane 0 we have Katie Taylor from Strathclyde. In lane 1, Sophie Smith from Edinburgh. Lane 2, Maisie McCartney from Loughborough. Lane 3, Amber Keegan from Sheffield. Lane 4, Isabel Griffiths from Birmingham. Lane 5, Alice Deering from Loughborough. Lane 6 is M. Clark from Loughborough. Lane 7, Victoria Catterson from Edinburgh. Lane 8, Goggie Britton from UCL. And lane 9, Chantal Smith from Stirling. The record is held by Polly Holden by Ellie Faulkner in 2013 from Sheffield Hallam of 8:24.77. And they're all in a bit of a line, but it's Amber Keegan from Sheffield that's starting to make a little bit, is probably leading just marginally as we come up to the 50 metre mark.
200 backstroke, heat 2, won by Matthew Evans of Manchester Met. Harry Puppet, Nottingham, picks up second. Harry Badnell, Birmingham, picks up third. Back to full one, men's 200 backstroke, heat 3.
As we meet the halfway mark in the race, we've got Amber Keegan in the lead with 4 minutes 18.86, followed by Alice Deering from Loughborough in 4:28.71. So the Sheffield swimmer is leading at the moment at the halfway mark.
Joseph Downey takes the win. Nathan Butterworth in second, Morgan Davis picks up third. Next in pool one, 50 freestyle, heat 2. Diogo Moura with a victory in heat 2. Sam Wadsworth of Bangor in second. Luke Shaw, Leicester, takes third.
As we enter the last 200 metres, it's still Amber Keegan leading, closely followed by
Pool 1, heat 3.
as we enter the last 100 metres. It's very close, less than half a second separating the Sheffield swimmer of Keegan against the Loughborough swimmer of Deering. And it's now almost neck and neck between the two of them as they come up to the final turn here and the 800 metres. So 750 metres done, and turning first is Alice Deary of Loughborough, 0.14 of a second ahead of Amber Keegan, who has led from the start. And Keegan is now starting to put a bit on to try and separate them as they come up to the final turn. There's not much in it. I think Deary got the slightly better of the turns there, and she's kicking on, and she's starting to open a little bit of a gap between herself and Amber Keegan, and it's going to be the gold medal, if it's confirmed, for Alice Deering of Loughborough. For second place is Amber Keegan in for 8:38.74, and the bronze medal going to Goggy Britton of UCL. So very tight finish there, but it'll be the gold medal, but after confirmation, for Alice Deering of Loughborough. The silver medal to Amber Keegan of of Sheffield, and then the bronze medal to Goggy Britton of UCL. We now move to the women's 200 metres backstroke heats 1 and 2. We had the 3 at the earlier start of it, and they will be lining up with Isabel Harrison in lane 2 from East Anglia. In lane 3 is Alice Miller from Imperial. Lane 4, Laura Shaw from Stirling. Lane 5, Rebecca Campbell from East Anglia. Lane 6, Kenyon Kellett from Nottingham Trent. And lane 7, Rebecca Dunn from Manchester Met. Apologies, that's Rebecca Dern. So this is the 2 heats of the Open 200 metres backstroke at the Speedo and BUCS Short Course Swimming Championships 2019.
Second place, but Thomas Sutton gets it. Elliot Doughty in third, and we're ready to go in pool 2. This is heat 1.
So it's Harrison East Anglia, Miller Imperial, Shaw Stirling, Campbell East Anglia, Kellett Nottingham Trent, and Dern Manchester Met. This is heat 1 of the women's 200 metres backstroke.
Now in pool 1, heat 5. Cameron Brown takes heat 5, Joseph Craig second, Alexander Babbage in third. In pool 1, they're ready, heat 6.
So at the halfway mark, the lead is with Laura Shaw from Stirling, followed by Alice Miller from Imperial and Rebecca Campbell from East Anglia. Not much set to separate it, but with less than a second and a half at the halfway mark.
Heat 6 goes to Beth Martin, 27.15. Nikolai Weber, Oxford Brooks in second place. On the right of Liverpool in third.
And coming up to the end of the race, we have Alice Miller from Imperial just leading the way, just overcoming Laura Shaw from Stirling. So Alice Miller in 2 minutes 42.05. Laura Shaw from Stirling in second place, and Isabel Harrison from East Anglia in third, with Rebecca Campbell from East Anglia also in fourth, Kenyon Kellett from Nottingham Trent in fifth, and Rebecca Dern from Manchester Met in fifth. We now move on to heat number 2, which is it's a final one for today, and in lane 0 it's Serena Neves, lane 1 Emma Bird from Exeter, lane 2 Sophia Breeze from East Anglia, lane 3 Lily Collins-Board from Stirling, lane 4 Sophie Barker from Sheffield Hallam, lane 5 Amelia Peddle from Exeter, lane 6 Jasmine Arcirio from King's College, lane 7 Fern McGovern from Edge Hill, lane 8 Anna Livermore of Keele, and in lane 9 Charlotte Allen from Coventry. This is the final heat for the women's 200 metres backstroke.
Next in pool 1, heat 8.
And at the halfway mark, it's Sophie Barker that's in the lead from Sheffield Hallam.
7.33. Tyler Hobson second, Jeff Wilcott third.
And Sophie Barker still leads the way from Anna Livermore from Keele at the last, as we enter the last 50 metres. And winning in a time of 2 minutes 25.16 is Sophie Barker from Sheffield Hallam, and second place is Anna Livermore from Keele, and third place goes to Amelia Peddle from Exeter. We now move on to the women's 50 metres freestyle. There is another 39 heats in this event.
Sophie Baker takes heat 2, Anna Livermore in second, Amelia Peddle in third in pool 2.
And in heat 1, lane 3 will be Madge Nielsen from Bristol, lane 4 is Megan Stockford from Royal Holloway, and lane 5 is Delia Hewitt from Gloucestershire. Okay, I may stand corrected. There looks like there's 4 swimmers up on the board.
Matt Goslow takes heat 10, Kircher in second, Shenton in third. Pool 2 are ready with heat 1.
And in lane 6 is actually Joanne Williams from Leeds Trinity. So leading the way is Maja Nielsen from Bristol. And she touches in a time of 27.92 seconds, followed by Joanne Williamson from Leeds Trinity in 32.12 and Megan Stockford from Royal Holloway in 32.45. Heat 2, the swimmers represented here. Starting at lane 0 is Maisie Clapperton from Chester, Anastasia Smith from Derby, Sarah McDury from Marjon, Eliza Jackson from York St John, Jenna Alcock from Aston, Aggie Bebbington from St George's, Rebecca Fox from Chichester, Emily Mannock from Oxford and Ellie Cannon from Bangor. These are your competitors for Heat 2 of the women's 50 metres freestyle.
Pool 2, Heat 2. And the radar in Pool 2. In Pool 1, Sam Ball wins Heat 12. Billum in second, Jake Doyle.
And Maisie Clapperton is leading the way at the top of the pool for Chester. And at the bottom you've got Ellie Cannon from Bangor. These two are in the front in Heat 2. And touching first is Maisie Clapperton from Chester in a time of 33.51. Second place was Ellie Cannon from Bangor, and third place Aggie Bebbington from St George's. That is Heat 2. We now move on to Heat 3. And starting in lane 0, the competitors are Megan Short from Stirling, Marie Gabriel Buan from Manchester Met, Lauren White from York St John, Dajana Jovanovic from Kiel, Eleanor Haynes from Kiel, and Amy Tromans from Kiel. And then Caris Dunsby from Chester, Casey Shaw from Kiel, Hannah Povell from Aston, and Charlotte Goodship from Chichester. Your competitors in Heat 3 of the women's 50 metres freestyle.
And they're ready to go with Heat 40. Callum Smith wins in pool 1, 26.46 this time. Paul Millicent from Harter picks up second place and Max Fitzgerald in third. Next in pool 2, heat 3.
So a quick rundown again of the thing. It's Megan Short, Sterling, Mario Gabriel Buan, Manchester Met, Lauren White, York St John, Dejana Jonovic, Kiel, Eleanor Haynes, Kiel, Amy Tromans, Kiel, Caris Dunsby, Chester, Casey Shaw, Kiel, Hannah Powell, Aston, and Charlotte Goodship of Chichester. And it's Eleanor Hayes from Kiel leading the way, and she's going to just touch out Amy Tromans, her teammate from Kiel there, so she wins in a time of 35.51. And then third place goes to Lauren White of York St John. And in heat number 4, the swimmers are Rebecca Cottle from Marjon, Alice Renard from London, Katie Hobbs, Liverpool John Moores, Jasmine Jarvis, Leicester, Grace Ella Cooper Holmes, Manchester Met, Laura Coward, Coventry, Alice Bennett, Leicester, Lizzie Kenyon, Chichester, Billy Michelle, University of Central Lancashire, and Georgia Stephen from Kiel.
Next in pool 2, heat 4.
And they're off, and it's a good start there for Alice Bennett alongside Laura Coward. But Laura Coward is the one that's pushing forward now at the halfway. So Laura Coward from Coventry leading Alice Bennett from Leicester. And the winner is Laura Coward in a time of 32.23 seconds. And in second place was Jasmine Jarvis from Leicester, and third place Rebecca Cottle from Marjon. And now heat number 5. The competitors in heat number 5 are Emily Pettigrew from Bangor, Hannah Kirby, St George's, Anna Gishwind from Kiel, Frances Moir from Hull, Amy Sills, Coventry, Kirsty Ferguson, Strathclyde, Jessica Brunning, Aston, Rebecca Gillick, Shabat, Bradford, Rivers Cooper, Crook from London, and Hannah Crapton from Gloucestershire.
And in pool 2, heat 5. Event 304, heat 16, lane 3. There's been a disqualification for a technical infraction. That's event 304, heat 16, lane 3. And pool 1 are ready to go. This is heat 80.
And touching first is Rebecca Gulick-Shabat from Bradford, followed by Rivers Crook from London and Emily Pettigrew from Bangor. The swimmers for Heat 6 are Eloise Spencer-Wolfe from Bangor, Heather Mottram, York St John, Georgia Harman from Gloucestershire, Kelly Allen from Marjon, Hannah Walker from York St John, Sophie Ings from Northampton, Lydia Naramore from Leicester, Amy Aston from Northampton, Sophie Wyman from Manchester Met, and Joyce Chan from Glasgow Caledonian.
And in pool 1, heat 19.
And turning first is Sophie Ings from Northampton. But Amy Aston got a better turn there from Northampton, but at the bottom of the picture, Joyce Chan from Glasgow Caledonian is making a move. And touching first is Kelly Allen from Marjon, followed by Amy Aston from Northampton and Joyce Chan from Glasgow Caledonian. We now move on to heat number 7. The swimmers in heat 7 are Hannah Latham from Keele, Carmen Lim from Cambridge, Abby Openshaw, York St John, Kelly Stew from King's College, Danny Brazier from Gloucestershire, Helena Phillips from Coventry, Hayley Webb from Chester, Lucy Fleming, Bradford, Phoebe Willoughby-Han from Southampton, and Emily Judd. And a good start there for Danny Brazier from Gloucestershire. And she's had a good start with Hayley Webb from Chester. And it's between those two as they come up to touch, and the winner is Danny Brazier from Gloucestershire, followed by Hayley Webb from Chester and Helena Phillips from Coventry. That was heat number 7 of the women's 50 metres freestyle at the Speedo and BUCS Short Course Swimming Championships 2019. The participants in heat 8 are Bryony Dobbing, Liverpool John Moores, Chloe Carr, University of Central Lancashire, Lauren McCain, Glasgow Caledonian, Francesca Elise Deneau, Aberystwyth, Lucy Goodman, Southampton, Natalia Telescia, Aberdeen, Kerry Williams, York St John, Jay Western, London, Katie Norris, Aston, and Ellery Hume, Exeter.
Pool 1, heat 21.
And touching first in heat 8 is Kerry Williams from York St John, followed by Chloe Carr from University of Central Lancashire and Ellery Hume from Exeter. And moving on to heat 9, the swimmers are Rianne Gale Worcester, Line McCary Aberystwyth, Trinity Wiltshire Bangor, Prisca Contasini Glasgow, Emily Simmons Bangor, Claire Cashmore Northumbria, Claire McGlone University of Central Lancashire, Emily Bowman King's College, Jessica Eborn, Manchester Met, and Catherine McKinnon, Manchester Met. And at the turn is Rihanna Gale from Worcester that's in the lead.
Next in pool 1, heat 22.
And it's going to be tight in the race, and touching first is Rianne Gale from Worcestershire, second is Claire Cashmore from Northumbria, and in third place Emily Simmons from Bangor. And the participants, that was heat number 9. We're now moving on to heat number 10, and the participants are Emily Barnes, Manchester Met, Laura Shaw, Stirling, Stephanie Lee, Keele, Molly Woodward, Royal Holloway, Victoria Pokrizaskic, Northumbria, Charlotte Anderson, Lincoln, Hannah James, Chichester, and Harrod Lewis, Liverpool John Moores, Victoria Parrott, Kent, and Jess Stowell, Chichester.
Pool 1, heat 23.
And leading is Hannah James from Chichester at the turn. And Molly Woodward from Royal Holloway is coming back at her. And touching first is Molly Woodward from Royal Holloway. Second is Victoria Pogrizizask from Northampton. And in third place, Hannah James from Chichester. I stand corrected, Hannah James was second, and Victoria Pogrizaskic was third from Northampton. That was heat 10. We're moving on to heat 11, and the swimmers are starting in lane 0, Libby Jarvis from Notts-Trent, Ellie Hallam from Bangor, Becca Dawson from University of Central Lancashire, Megan Pickup from Sheffield, Millie Laffrey from Oxford Brookes, Amy Godfrey, Strathclyde, Charlotte Torn, Royal Holloway, Anja Cox Cunningham from Manchester Met, Naomi Sims, York St John, and Megan Corby from Bournemouth.
Slight delay in pool 2, so let's concentrate on pool 1. Wrist tight in those middle lanes, and going well in 0 is Harry Engel as well. In lane 5, Alexander Beveridge just on the edge in front. Dan Eccles of Dundee going well in at lane 2, but the wind just goes to lane 5. Beveridge 1, Eads 2, Eccles 3 to conclude heat 24. Pool 1 is ready. It's heat 25. And in pool 2, heat 11. The rope has dropped in pool number 1. I'll find out exactly what for, but what I will tell you is that heat 25 will be a wee swap.
And leading there is in lane 2 is Becca Dawson, who touches first in a time of 29.34. So the University of Central Lancashire swimmer touches first, followed by Amy Godfrey from Strathclyde and Millie Laffey from Oxford Brookes. That was heat number 11 of the women's 50 metres freestyle. We move on to heat number 12, and the swimmers are Freya Weston from Reading, Freya Body from East Anglia, R. Hay from Manchester Met, Poppy Jenkins from Royal Holloway, Sophie Cameron from Aberystwyth, Fionn Butler from Birmingham, Jessica Feeney from Aberystwyth, Sophia Uvarova from Hull, Maddie Garner from Bangor, and Siobhan Sinclair Strawn from Reading.
So let's give all our concentration to heat number 12, where in lane 3 is Poppy Jenkins of Royal Holloway. Consumes first, and she's going to command in the battle for second place in the outside lane for Poppy Jenkins.
And Poppy Jenkins is leading there as they come up to the touch, and she touches first. Poppy Jenkins from Royal Holloway in 29.43, and then Freya Weston from Reading and Sophie Cameron from Aberystwyth. There they are, 1, 2, 3 in heat 12 of the women's 50 metres freestyle. The competitors in heat 13 will be Faye Warren from Cardiff, Maria Taggart from Bangor, Elisa Evans from King's College, Tilly Bowie from Chester, Rhiannon Flynn from Hull, Heidi Chapman, St Andrews, Rachel Harris from Liverpool John Moores, Zaina Hussein from Reading, Rhiann Jones from York, and Evie Garner from Southampton. Heat number 13 of the women's 50 metres freestyle.
With Nathan Wells of Stirling, please make yourselves known to the referee. Nathan Wells, Stirling to the referee, please. This is heat 13 with time at the turn.
And it's a good movement there, and it's in the lead we have Rachel Harris. Rachel Harris leading there for Liverpool John Moores, and she touches first in 30.39. Second place goes to Evie Garner of Southampton, and third place goes to Heidi Chapman of St Andrews. They're your 1, 2, 3 in heat 13 of the 50 metres freestyle. The competitors for heat 14 will be Emily Milner from Coventry, Olivia Hawkins, Southampton, Summer Horn from Coventry, Rachel McHenry from Keele, Eden Lashley from Northampton, Alexandra Williams, Liverpool, Abby Macbeth, Oxford Brookes, Hannah Gaunt, Cardiff Metropolitan, Molly Wilkins, Oxford Brookes, and Ellie Hurd from King's College. They are your competitors for heat 14 of the women's 50 metres freestyle. And it's a tight race here in heat number 14, and it's Abby Macbeth and Hannah Gaunt. So Oxford Brookes v Cardiff Met, but pushing up in the top is Olivia Hawkins from Southampton, and it's Olivia Hawkins from Southampton that gets the touch in 29.97. Second place goes to Abby Macbeth from Oxford Brookes, just touching out Hannah Gaunt from Cardiff Metropolitan. They're your 1, 2, 3 in heat 14. Heat 15 of the 50 metres freestyle, your swimmers are Lauren Rice from Aberdeen, Emma Coding, Manchester Met, Emma Bain, Surrey, Laura Southwell, Southampton, Keris Hope, Derby, Zita Tuttle, Manchester Met, Charlotte Nash, Winchester, Holly Townsend, Southampton, Lily Collins Board, Stirling, and Natasha Booth from Leeds Beckett. Heat 15. And it's quite tight here between lanes 1, 2 and 7. So Emma Coding from Manchester, Emma Bain from Surrey, and Holly Townsend from Southampton. And it's going to be close to who gets the touch, and the touch goes to Emma Bain from Surrey, touching out Holly Townsend from Southampton, and in third place Emma Codling from Manchester Met. That is your 1, 2, 3 for Heat 15 of the women's 50 metres freestyle. The competitors for Heat 16 are Jameen Han from London, Jasmine Dearnley from Leeds Beckett, Megan Davis from Cardiff Met, Beth Elliott from Exeter, Bethany Thuringer from Oxford Brookes, Eleanor Calcutt from Durham, Abby Ward, Lincoln, Grace Cordeau, Sheffield, Holly Sherritt, Manchester Met, and Edita Kalasiak from Aberystwyth. And leading out is Megan Davis from Cardiff Met at the top, but there's not much to pick between them. And it's coming back with India, with Holly Sherritt from Manchester Met at the bottom. It's Holly Sherritt. Is she going to get the touch? Or is it going to be Megan Davis? And it goes to Megan Davis from Cardiff Met, who just touches out Holly Sherritt from Manchester Met. And in third place we've got Grace Cordeau from Sheffield. They're your 1, 2, 3 at Heat 16.
Next in pool 2, Heat 17.
And the swimmers in Heat 17 are Emma Palmer, York St John, Kat Cadenhead, York, Rosie Corston, Worcester, Kirsty Johnson, Strathclyde, Cara Chambers-Hay, Manchester Met, Sushila Coveney from East Anglia, Rita Pinto, Plymouth, Beth Johnson, Glasgow Caledonian, India Cooper, Gloucestershire, and Chloe Lewis from Marjons. And it's a tight one there between Emma Palmer from York St John and India Cooper at the turn. And they're still going neck and neck. It looks like it's just going to be India Cooper that is just pulling away, but coming through in the middle is Sushila Coveney, and the touch goes to India Cooper for Gloucestershire in first place. In second place goes to Sushila Coveney from East Anglia, and in third place Emma Palmer from York St John. That's your 1, 2, 3 for Heat 17. And the swimmers for Heat 18 of the women's 50 metres freestyle. Starting at lane 0 is Annabelle Spears from Liverpool, Georgina Powell, Imperial, Gabriel Stevens, Leeds Beckett, Melanie Calder, Harriet Watt, Rachel Nardone, Dundee, Charlotte Allen, Coventry, Kiara Halpin, Reading, Breoni Pack, Northampton, Emily Yetman, Surrey, and Libby Saunders from Liverpool. This is Heat number 18. So Melanie Calder and Breoni Pack are up in front, and it's Breoni Pack from Northampton that is starting to pull away slightly in the second half of the lesson. And coming back quickly is Gabriel Stevens. And the first place goes to Breoni Pack from Northampton. Second place goes to Gabriel Stevens from Leeds Beckett. And third place to Melanie Calder from Harriet Watt. That's your 1, 2, 3 in Heat 18 of the women's 50 metres freestyle. The swimmers for Heat 19 of the 50 metres freestyle are Jessica Porch from Sheffield Hallam, Libby Ward from York, Athena Heavy from Keele, Lauren Fisher, Nottingham Trent, Alex Smith, Oxford Brookes, Olivia Pollard, Bradford, Annabelle Lee, Hull, Charlotte Daw, Royal Holloway, Gabby Ishmat from Brunel, and Jordan Onweller from King's College. This is heat 19. And that's a good start from Olivia Pollard in lane 5 from Bradford. And she leads from at the turn from Jordan Onweller from King's College, who's starting to come back. So it's Olivia Pollard, Jordan Onweller and Gabby Inkmat that are going to be in the 1, 2, 3. And touching first is Olivia Pollard from Bradford. Second place, Jordan Onweller from King's College. And third place is Gabby Ichmat from Brunel. They're your 1, 2, 3 of heat 19 of the women's 50 metres freestyle. The swimmers for heat 20 are Alice Dennis from Sheffield Hallam, Maisie Steadman, Lincoln, Ellie Brasher from Reading, Rebecca Bamber from Hull, Charlotte Waddington from Bangor, Libby Steele from Manchester Met, Alexandria Lang-Andre from Gloucestershire, Amy Soanes from Portsmouth, Grace Beasley from Leeds Beckett, and Elise Gregory from Durham. And a very good start there by Grace Beasley from Leeds Beckett in lane number 8. And that allows her to turn first, just ahead of Charlotte Waddington and Elise Gregory. And Grace Beasley starting to pull away, because she's getting put under pressure from Elise Gregory from Durham. And touching first is Grace Beasley from Leeds Beckett, followed by Elise Gregory from Durham and Charlotte Waddington from Bangor. They are your 1, 2, 3 in heat 20 of the 50 metres freestyle. Your swimmers for heat 21 of the 50 metres freestyle are Tilda Harper, UWE, Isabel Briggs, Derby, Holly Cameron, Exeter, Lewis Ross, Strathclyde, Afra Shabu, Oxford, Emily Al-Haddad, Brunel, Sarah Hilly, Bournemouth, Rebecca Winter, Newcastle, Niamh Godfrey Clark from York, and Natalie Chan from Manchester Met. They're your swimmers for heat 21. And that's a good start there up the top for Holly Cameron. So it's Holly Cameron that turns first, just ahead of Natalie Chan from Manchester Met. As they're coming in close, it's still between Holly Cameron and Natalie Chan, and it's Holly Cameron that gets first place. So it's Holly Cameron from Exeter that touches first. Natalie Chan touches second for Manchester Met, and third place goes to Rebecca Winter of Newcastle. They're your 1, 2, 3 for heat 21 of the women's 50 metres freestyle. Heat 22, the swimmers are Ailey MacArthur from Dundee, Jasmine Arciero from King's College, Ellie de Pledgebar from Cardiff Met, Jess Pearson from Derby, Abby Dolly from De Montfort, Jennifer Dancy, Nottingham Trent, Jessica Lambert, Sheffield Hallam, Gigi Slater, Glasgow, Carlin Kennington, St Andrews, and Rosalind Fell from York. Your swimmers for heat 22 of the 50 metres freestyle. And it's Gigi Slater that turns first in lane 7 for Glasgow. And she's starting to power away from that. It's very close for the other positions, but it looks like it's going to be Gigi Slater that touches first, and she does, in from Glasgow for a time of 28.16. And in second place is Ailey MacArthur from Dundee, and in third place is Carolyn Kennington from St Andrews. They're your 1, 2, 3 for Heat 22. Heat 23 of the women's 50 metres freestyle. The swimmers are Freya Reid from Liverpool, Charlotte Yates from Worcestershire, Molly Cohen, Sheffield Hallam, Jodie Cowie from Portsmouth, Daisy DeGaris, Oxford Brookes, Huan Ting Janet Shan from Oxford, Megan Reckless from Southampton, Elena Drimileropoulos from Keele, Keris Cottrell from Gloucestershire, and Manjiri Bhatt from Aberdeen. And turning first is Freya Reid from Liverpool. And coming back strongly is Manjiri Bhatt from Aberdeen in the bottom, but it's going to be between them and possibly Wanching Janet Chan, and Freya Reid wins it for Liverpool in first place. In second place it's Wanting Janet Chan from Oxford, and third place goes to Manjiri Bhatt from Aberdeen. They're your 1, 2, 3 in Heat 23. Heat 24 of the women's 50 metres freestyle. The swimmers are Lauren Prowse, Bristol, Katie Henderson, York, Lydia Barnsley, Oxford Brookes, Katie Smith, East Anglia, Sophie de Graris, Surrey, Katie Gaffing, Newcastle, Eloise Yeadon Kager, Durham, Isabel Meeks, London, Alex Allen, Dundee, and Jenna Martin, St Andrews. And a good start there from Katie Henderson and Isabel Meeks. As we come to the turn, it's nip and tuck. It could be anybody's at the moment if whoever gets a good turn there. And coming out of it is Eloise Yeadon Krager. We got the best turn there, and she's driving towards. She's under pressure from Jenna Martin in the bottom, and touching first is Katie Henderson from York. In second place is Eloise Yeadon Kager from Durham, and third place is Jenna Martin from St Andrews. They're your 1, 2, 3 for Heat 24 of the women's 50 metres freestyle. Heat 25, the swimmers are Hannah Burgess from Liverpool John Moore, Katie Chandler from York St John, Lucy Moores from Bournemouth, Ellen Northwood Southampton, Olivia McAvoy York, Jenny Ballinger Liverpool John Moores, Sarah Patrick Nottingham Trent, Georgia Whetton Manchester Met, Sarah Eckersley Sheffield Hallam, and Lauren Barraclough from Liverpool. We just have a slight delay while the men's pool just gets a race. Will be underway very shortly. They were your competitors for Heat 25.
Pool 2, Heat 25.
And it's very tight coming up the first leg, with potentially Olivia McAvoy just having a slight edge at the turn there. And it's Olivia McAvoy with Katie Chandler pushing for it, and it's Olivia McAvoy. It looks like she's going to get the touch, but the touch goes for Lucy Moores from Bournemouth, and in second place Olivia McAvoy from York, and third place Ellen Northwood from Southampton. There's your 1, 2, 3 for heat 25 of the women's 50 metres freestyle. Now heat 26, the swimmers are Lucy Milne from Royal Holloway, Nalua Mate from Glasgow, Sophie Lee from Exeter, Rosa Irwin from Bristol, Louisa Knight, East Anglia, Molly Robinson, Northampton, Eleanor Jackson, Newcastle, Claire Weeks, Sheffield, Katie Whiffen from Surrey, and Tilly Loney from St Andrews. Heat 26. And it's very tight here, and touching first is Molly Robinson from Northampton. Touching second was Tilly Loney from St Andrews, and in third place Nalu Mate from Glasgow. That's your 1, 2, 3 in heat 26 of the women's 50 metres freestyle. Heat 27, the swimmers are Madeline Brandon from Lincoln, Izzy Shea from Newcastle, Eliza Grace, Manchester Met, Libby Turner, Huddersfield, Emily Sampson, Surrey, Francesca Crocker, Sheffield Hallam, Clara Ryan, York, Eleanor Vodden, Sheffield Hallam, Erin McDonald, Aberdeen, and Bethan Hall Jones from Glasgow. And a good start there in lane 1 from Izzy Shea. And as we turn at the thing, it's lane 3, Libby Turner, who got the start there as she's moving forward as we're coming in, but it's pushing up is Eleanor Vodden from Sheffield Hallam. She's pulling away, she's going to touch first, and it's Eleanor Vodden touching first in 28.27 for Sheffield Hallam. Second place, Erin McDonald from Aberdeen, and in third place Madeline Brandon representing Lincoln. That's your 1, 2, 3 for heat 27 of the women's 50 metres freestyle. Heat 28, the swimmers are Lucy Farmer from Bournemouth, Leah Thompson from Stirling, Hannah Cheval, Leeds Beckett, Abigail Rylands, Liverpool, Yasmin Stone, Bournemouth, Alana Hedges from Edgehill, Megan Mann, Newcastle, Valentina Foydlova from Warwick, Kami Low from Worcestershire, and Emmy Horn Morris from East Anglia. And that's a good start there, and leading into the first turn is Lucy Farmer from Bournemouth. And it's going to be close, and it looks like, and touching first is Lucy Farmer from Bournemouth. Second place Abigail Rylands from Liverpool, and in third place Hannah Cheval from Leeds Beckett. That's your 1, 2, 3 for heat 28 of the women's 50 metres freestyle at the Speedo and BUCS Short Course Swimming Championships 2019. The competitors for heat 29: Emily Kemp from Leicester, Liv Phillips from Leeds Beckett, Esme Briggs from Oxford, Molly Tomlinson, Leicester, Beth Gordon from Glasgow, Anna Louisa Spenzu from UCL, Zoe Owen from Plymouth, Natalie Meldrum from Sheffield Hallam, Nisha Desai from York, and Zita Edwards from Southampton. And leading at the turn is Zoe Owens from Plymouth, but pushing hard is Zita Edwards down from Southampton, who's starting to pull away. It's going to be tight between the two of them for who's going to get the first touch, and it is Zita Edwards from Southampton touches first. In second place is Zoe Owens from Plymouth, and third place Anna Louisa Spenzow from UCL. They are your 1, 2, 3 for heat 29 of the women's 50 metres freestyle. Heat 30, the swimmers are Emily Clough from Glasgow, Georgia Harrod from Nottingham Trent, Siami Yap from Cardiff Met, Emma Jones from York, Ottilie Marsden from Aberdeen, Tia May Burden from Leeds Beckett, Lauren Nelson from East Anglia, Emma Buckley, Exeter, Lily Dabin, Sheffield Hallam, and Lucy Castle from Bournemouth. And it's almost all on a line here, with potentially Siama Yap from Cardiff Met just having the edge at that turn as we're coming into the last 10 metres here. It's very, very tight. Who's going to get the touch? It looks like it's going to be Siami Yap from Cardiff Met, followed by Ottilie Marsden from Aberdeen, and third place Lauren Nelson from East Anglia. These are your 1, 2, 3 in heat 30 of the women's 50 metres freestyle at the Speedo and BUCS Short Course Swimming Championship 2019. The swimmers for heat 31: Holly Gardner from Stirling, Ella Stillwell from Southampton, Nina Fisher, Glasgow, Rebecca Holden, Oxford Brookes, Jasmine Mann, Cardiff Met, Cameron Minifee, Liverpool, Lauren Palmer-Jones, York, Fiona Cash, Ulster, Kezia Proctor, Durham, and Sophie Fisher from Glasgow. And it's quite tight here, and turning first is Nina Fisher from Glasgow, just ahead of Sophie Fisher from Ellis, from her sister, I would assume, Sophie Fisher from Glasgow. And touching first is Nina Fisher from Glasgow, and in second place was Cameron Minifee from Liverpool, and third place Jasmine Mann from Cardiff Met. That's your 1, 2, 3 for heat 31 of the women's 50 metres freestyle. Your swimmers for heat 32 is Fiona Crane, Southampton, Angela Dunderdale, Durham, Eleanor Lane, St Andrews, Holly Milnes, York, Sarah McCracken, Ulster, Josie Blades, Cambridge, Elizabeth Harris, Nottingham, Jace Kappelman, Newcastle, Chloe Howes, Bristol, and Michelle Olkowski from Sheffield Hallam. And a good start there from everybody, and it's quite, everybody's going in a line with just potentially Holly Mines just getting ahead, and she turns first in lane number 3. So the York swimmer just ahead at that point, and coming back at her is Josie Blades from Cambridge and Sarah McCracken from Ulster, but she's pulled away again, and touching first is Holly Mines from York, followed by Sarah McCracken from Ulster, and Josie Blades from Cambridge. That's your 1, 2, 3 for heat 32 of the women's 50 metres freestyle. The swimmers for heat 33 are Sophie Card from Portsmouth, Zoe Bellew from Oxford, Lauren Maclay from Stirling, Siobhan Durkin from Newcastle, Amber Cook, Cardiff Met, Georgia Kane, Surrey, Martine Tran from Bath, Kate Carter from Durham, Riley Flick from St Andrews, and Abigail Webb from Durham. They are your competitors for heat 33 of the 50 metres freestyle. And it's very close, so it's hard to say who turned first there. And they're all driving forward, but that was a good turn there by Andre Magdamzurzu. And touching first was Riley Flick from St Andrews. Second place to Georgia Keane from Surrey, and Amber Cook taking third place for Cardiff Met. And that was your first three for heat 33. Heat 34, the swimmers are Juliet Morelli from Cambridge, Daniela Shipley from Kent, Molly McCart from Sheffield, Rafaela Skeparnindodo from Leeds, Amy Felsted from Portsmouth, Andrea Maganza Zurdu from Kiel, Tanya Jasinski from Bristol, Millie Sale from Liverpool John Moores, Natasha Crowe from Sheffield Hallam, and Lizzie Cont from Warwick.
Pool 1, heat 41.
And that's a good turn there, and it's been led by Natasha Crowe from Sheffield Hallam, who's getting Lizzie Cont from Warwick pushing back, and she's tying up a wee bit, and it touch goes first. It goes to Juliet Merrily from Cambridge, touching first ahead of Natasha Crowe from Sheffield Hallam, and then Daniela Shipley from Kent. That's your 1, 2, 3 of heat 34 of the women's 50 metres freestyle at the Speedo and BUCS Short Course Swimming Championships 2019. The swimmers for heat 35. Sophie Hodgson from Warwick, Fionn Thomas from Reading, Lily Kroll from Strathclyde, Kim Eastwood from York St John, Rebecca Hoadley from UCL, Katie Tulloch from Stirling, Emma Shilton from Reading, Ibiola Cezens from Southampton, Chrissy Tomlinson from Leeds Beckett, and Carla Brawley from west of Scotland. Good start across the board as they're pushing hard up on this first lap. And everybody's turning. It could be that it was Sophie Hodgson who turned first for Warwick up at the top. But the better turn came from Katie Tulloch, and they're driving forward. And the touch is going to go to Emily Shilton. So Emily Shilton from Reading touches first. Second place goes to Sophie Hodgson from Warwick, and third place goes to Kim Eastwood from York St John. That's your 1, 2, 3 for heat 35. Heat 36. The swimmers are Verena Michael from Cambridge, Sophie Murray from Newcastle, Ruby Verge from Cardiff, Lucy Sharp from Durham, Emma Hatton from Cambridge, Sophia Wallace from Portsmouth, Alexandra Hurd from Nottingham, Hannah Binning from East Anglia, Katie Gross from De Montfort, and Keone Broomfield from East Anglia. And turning first was Sophia Wallace from Portsmouth. But driving forward in the middle of the pool is Emma Hatton from Cardiff. And it's coming back is Keone Broomfield from East Anglia, and in first place was Emma Hatton from Cardiff. Second place, Keone Broomfield from East Anglia, and third place was Lucy Sharp from Durham. That's your 1, 2, 3 for heat 36 of the 50 metres freestyle. The swimmers for heat 37 is Claudia Murray, Oxford, Ellie Tripp, Manchester, Eleanor Rickson, Lancaster, Andrea Valdivieso Per from Durham, Onyep Orbel from Newcastle, Leah Walker from Liverpool, John Moore, Sophie Kashk from Hertfordshire, Georgina Butler from Swansea, Christy Sadler from Oxford, and Jade Nuttall from Leeds. They're the swimmers for heat 37.
Pool 1, heat 44.
They were all in a line there as they turned, so it's all to play for in the second length here of heat 37. And it looks like it's Jade Nuttall who's just edging ahead. But then you've got Claudia Murray at the top. It's the top against the bottom. And in first place goes to Claudia Murray from Oxford. Second place, Eleanor Rickson from Lancaster. And third place to Georgina Butler from Swansea. That's your 1, 2, 3 for heat 37 of the women's 50 metres freestyle. The swimmers for heat 38 are Lucy Gotta from Lancaster, Isabel Wild from Manchester, Louisa Farash Trajano from Oxford, Katie Dane, Robert Gordons, Millie Scotchbrook, Nottingham, Georgina Talon, Swansea, Yasmin Brown, Sheffield Hallam, Jess Telford, Birmingham, Madeline White, Plymouth, and Claudia Kirkpatrick from Lancaster.
Next in Pool 1 is heat 25, the re-swim in the men's 50 freestyle.
And it's going to be close, and the first touch is by Georgina Talon from Swansea. Second place Jess Telford from Birmingham, and third place Millie Scotchbrook from Nottingham. We now enter the final heat of this heat 39. The first three heats went before the three fastest heats went at the very start, and the swimmers for heat 39 are Beth Jordan, Leeds Beckett, Kate Storey, Glasgow, Katie Townsend, Cardiff Met, Amy Hodgson, Durham, Emmy Hutchinson, Strathclyde, Bethany Hunt, Cardiff, Sophie Brandon, York, Samantha Hollings, Lancaster, Gemma McLeod, Aberdeen, and Mia McAllister from Edinburgh. And coming up to this in the last 10 metres here, it looks like it's Emma Hutchison who's going to touch first, but she gets touched out, so it's Katie Townsend from Cardiff Met that comes in first, Beth Jordan from Leeds Beckett in second, and Bethany Hunt from Cardiff finishes third. That finishes the 50 metres freestyle at the Speedo and BUCS Short Course Swimming Championship 2019. We now move on to the heats 1, 2, 3 and 4 of the women's 200 metres breaststroke. There are 3 swimmers in this first heat. These are Amber Owen in lane 3 from Edinburgh, Rebecca Gulick-Shabat from Bradford in lane 4, and Emily Urquhart from Oxford in lane 5.
And in pool number 2, it is event 305, the women's 200 breaststroke, and this is heat 1. see empty pools, so make sure you show these guys plenty of support. In pool number 1, Ollie Hanger of Exeter is in lane 5. And next to him in lane 4, Matteo Rosacchio from Bradford. In pool number 2, 3 competitors. And racing away in lane 3 is Amber Owen from Edinburgh. In lane 4, Rebecca Gulik-Shibat of Bradford. And then Oxford's Emily Urquhart is in lane 5. Still lots of great racing to come as well as these breaststroke heats. We've got 4 in each of the classifications. We then move on to 1 heat of women's open 400 individual medley, then men's 400 individual medley. And then to close the session, we've got team 200 individual medleys to come before an incredibly short break. And then the warm-up will start for tonight's final session here on day 2 of the Speedo BUCS Short Course Swimming Championship. Speaking of Speedo, thanks for their continued support, thanks to Bright Network and our friends at Camp America as well. It won't be long until we are drawing the lot to see who wins the Nando's voucher, courtesy of Camp America. I think there's a couple of minutes to go to get your entries in. If you've not done already, you could bit of voucher and get yourself some delicious chicken and sides tonight. What a way to spend the Saturday, eh? Matteo Rosacchio takes the win for Bradford, 2:52. Ollie Hanger, Exeter, second quickest, 2:54.25 for him.
So we've got Emily Urquhart entering the last 50 metres of her 200 metres breaststroke. So Emily from Oxford, and then in second place is coming through is Amber Owen from Edinburgh. Apologies there, Amber Owen has just touched in 2:44.65.
Amber Owen finishes first in heat number 1 of the Breaststroke 200. We've got a full house. Well, I'm lying to you actually, lane 2 is empty in 200 breaststroke heat number 2. And we'll introduce you to all of the competitors.
And then touching second is Emily Urquhart from Oxford.
Amber Owen finishes first, Emily Urquhart second.
The second heat of the women's 200 metres breaststroke at the Speedo and BUCS Short Course Swimming Championship 2019. In lane 1 is Sophie Lawson from Lincoln. Lane 2, Emery Catherall from Lincoln. Lane 3, Becky Lockett from Sheffield Hallam. Lane 4, Maya Little from King's College. Lane 5, Molly Hale from Stirling. Lane 6, Sophie Pickering from Kent. Lane 7, Alicia Pollard from Surrey. And lane 8 will be Freya Body from East Anglia.
In pool 2, this is heat 2.
And there is no swimmer in lane 7, so no swimmer from Surrey in this heat.
East Anglia's Nick Sims in 4. 2 Cardiff swimmers in 5 and 6. Callum Black and Cole Cornford. Alexandra Kircher of Warwick in 7. Chris Harbour, Southampton in 8. and Nikolai Weber. Oxford Brooks is in lane 9. With the winners, lane 0 empty. So Sophie Lawson goes in 1 from...
And it is Maya Little from King's College who leads after the first 50 metres.
Of Plymouth takes the victory in Heat 2, 2:33.87 for Tyndall. Kircher, Warwick, second, 2:39.06. And then in third place, Nick Sims stops the clock, 2:39.61. The 3 fastest times there in the 200 breaststroke, Heat 2. Next in pool 1, Heat 3.
As we're coming up to the 150 metre mark here, it is Maya Little from King College who leads in 2:02.59. Second place is Becky Lockett from Sheffield Hallam, and then it's close between Sophia Pickering, Molly Hale, Sophie Lawson and Emily Cathro for the third place in this race.
Heat 3 then in the men's, in lane 0 from Bangor, Dante Mantalini, Jamie Rogers, Liverpool in 1, Gonzalo Rivera, Glasgow in 2.
And touching first is Maya Little in 2:46.22, and in second place it's Becky Lockett from Sheffield Hallam. So King's College first, Sheffield Hallam second, and it's tight for third place. And it looks like it's going to be Sophie Pickering from Kent that's going to get it, and she just gets there, just ahead of Molly Hale from Stirling. So you're 1, 2, 3. Maya Little from King's College, Becky Lockett from Sheffield Hallam, and Sophie Pickering from Kent. That was Heat 2 of the women's 200 metres breaststroke. Moving on to Heat 3 of the women's 200 metres breaststroke. The swimmers are, starting at lane 0, Scarlett Tang from Kiel, Helen Leolu from Manchester, Ellen Morley from Sheffield Hallam, Zita Edwards from Southampton, Carolyn Kennington, St Andrews, Becky Morrell, Anglia Ruskin, Lorna Thompson, Glasgow, Melissa Carter, Edgehill, Sophia Breeze, East Anglia, and Amelia Sykes from University of Central Lancashire. Heat 3 of the women's 200 metres breaststroke.
Thomas Hamilton with the win then in Heat 3. Takes it home for Birmingham, 2:23.14. Tim Simonchek, Plymouth, 2:29.90. Second place, Umberto Banfici, Manchester. Third quickest, 2:35.48 in Breaststroke Heat 3. In pool 1, it's 200 breaststroke, Heat 4.
And at the halfway mark, it's Ellen Morley that leads from Scarlett Tang from Kiel. So it's Sheffield Hallam from Kiel at the halfway stage of the 200 metres breaststroke.
Manchester in 1, Ellen Morley, Sheffield Hallam in 2. From Southampton in lane 3, Zita Edwards, Carlin Kennington, St Andrews in 4. From Anglia Ruskin, it's Becky Merrill in 5. Laura Thompson of Glasgow in 6. From Edge Hill in 7, it's Melissa Carter. Sophia Breeze, East Anglia in 8. And from UCLan in 9, Amelia Sykes. Over in pool number 1, Robin Turner of Sheffield Hallam is in lane 0. In 1,
And it's Ellen Morley from Sheffield Hallam that's pulling away now. Although you've got Scarlett Tang coming back at her alongside Zita Edwards. But she's got too much in her at the moment, so Ellen Morley from Sheffield Hallam will win this.
in 7. In lane 8, Mitchell Cruz from Royal Holloway. And from UCLan in 9, George Robinson.
And touching first is Ellen Morley from Sheffield Hallam. Second place is Zita Edwards from Southampton, and Scarlett Tang from Kiel in third. That's your 1, 2, 3 in heat 3 of the women's 200 metres breaststroke at the Speedo and BUCS Short Course Swimming Championships 2019. The swimmers for the final heat of this round of 200 metres breaststrokes. In lane 0 is Sophie Barker from Sheffield Hallam. Lane 1 is Janice Mock from UCL, Molly Renton, St Andrews, then Jess Brown from Portsmouth, Natasha Prophet from Bangor, Alice Ball from Sheffield Hallam, Holly Gardner from Stirling, Russia Mondal from King's College, Alice Dennis from Sheffield Hallam, and Sophie Cash from Herts. These are your swimmers for Heat 4 of the women's 200 metres breaststroke.
Away first side in heat 4, Tom Cannon takes it for Sterling in lane 3 of men's heat number 4. That concludes the heats for the 200 breaststroke in pool number 1. Still to go, women's 400 individual medley, men's 400 individual medley. And then we close the session with 200 team medley. Pool 1, ready to go. This is heat 1 of the 400 individual medley.
And at the halfway turn, it's Sophie Barker from Sheffield Hallam leading the way at the top of the pool, followed by Natasha Prophet from Bangor and Russia Mondal from King's College.
Sophie Barker then of Sheffield Hallam leading this one in lane 0. Janice Mock, UCL in 2. Molly Renton, St Andrews 3. Jess Brown, Portsmouth in 4. Natasha Croft.
And Sophie Barker still leading at the 3/4 point of the race. Don't know what happened there. I think some of the swimmers stopped.
In this 400 individual medley, heat 1 in the men's, then 0.
So it's Natasha Prophet from Bangor must have thought she had finished the race.
Johnson of Oxford goes in 3. Alfie Collins, Cambridge in 4. No one in 5. Lane 6.
So touching first in lane 0 is Sophie Barker from Sheffield Hallam. Second place goes to Risha Mundal from King's College, and third place to Alice Dennis from Sheffield Hallam. That's your 1, 2, 3 on the final heat of the women's 200 metres breaststroke. We have 2 more events. We've got the women's open 400 metres individual medley. We've got the last heat for that. We've got 1 heat of that, and then we've got 7 of the women's 200 metres medley relay. So for the women's open 400 metres individual medley, we've got 3 swimmers. In lane 3 will be Martine Tran from Bath. Lane 4 will be Rosie Breslin from Manchester, and lane 5 will be Emily Colleran from Manchester.
Slight delay there in pool number 2, so let's see what's going on in pool number 1, where they're on to the freestyle leg of the 400 metre individual medley. It's the only heat. Still got the 200 team medley to go. Going on very nicely. Max Underwood from Oxford, Leon Shaw, East Anglia is going to need some support. He's still on his breaststroke leg. So let's show him a bit of love. Joe Richfield leading it out there, and he stops the clock in 4:12.82. As it's now time to welcome 400 metre individual medley heat 1 in the women's pool, heat 2.
And a slight another addition is Jessie Young will be joining the team in Robert Gordon's will be in lane 6. So it's Martine Tran from Bath, Rosie Breslin from Manchester, Emily Colleran from Manchester, and Amy Jessie Young from Robert Gordon's. The final of the heats of the 400 metres individual medley.
And away they go. Lane 4, Rosie Breslin, Manchester. Emily Colleran, Manchester, and Amy Jessie Young, Robert Gordon. We have a result in the men's. Joe Litchfield, Loughborough, 4:12.82. Max Underwood, Oxford in second, 4:41.17. And Alfie Collins, Cambridge, 4:45.37 to conclude the 400 metre individual medley, heat 1. Ready to go in pool 1 with heat 1 of the men's 200 metre team medley. In lane 0, University of Central Lancashire 2s, Coventry 2s in 1, University of Central Lancashire 1s in 2, Hull in 3, no team in lane 4, Aston in 5, Reading 2s in lane 6, Chester 7, Aston 2s in 8, Winchester 9.
As we reach the halfway split of the medley relay, individual medley here, the leader is Amy Jessie Young from Robert Gardens, who touches in a time of 2:39.48. In second place is Emily Colleran from Manchester in 2:51.72, and then Rosie Breslin just behind her from her teammate in 2:52.35.
But the racing will begin for the evening session of the Speedo BUCS Short Course Swimming Championships at 6:15. Just for confirmation, that is 6:15, 6:15, in just over an hour and a quarter's time.
And as we enter the front crawl stage, the freestyle stage of this is still Amy Jessie Young leading from the two bath-swimmers of Rosie Breslin and Emily Colleran.
And that ends heat number 1 over in pool 1. Aston 1 taking the victory there in lane 5 under the 2-minute barrier. 2 great swimming from Aston. 1:59.52. 2 minutes, 0.5 for UClan 1s. And then Hull picking up 3rd place. Ready to go in pool 1 with heat 2.
And touching first in a time of 5 minutes 23.01 is Amy Jessie Young from Robert Gardens. And it looks like Rosie Breslin is going to win the battle of the Manchester individual medley swimmers as she touches second in a time of just under the 6 minute marks in 5:59.89. And then you've got Emily Colleran coming in third in 6:06.46. We now move on to the women's 200 metres medley relay. There are 7 heats. We've had 3 fastest earlier on in the evening, and the first heat has 3 teams. They've got Aston, Chester and Bradford. The championship time is 1:47.94, set last year by Loughborough. And there's an addition to the women's 200 metres medley relay. It's Sterling have been entered into lane 6. They'll be one of the ones that will be one of the favourites to win the championship, but they're having to swim in this for whatever reason there is. So the swimming is taking place now. So it's Sterling from Chester, from Bradford, from Aston. And they turned in 28:37.
And they get away first time. So let's first concentrate on pool number 2, where Aston swimming lane 3, Chester in 4, Bradford in 5, and Sterling 1 in lane 6.
So looking at the times, they'll probably be, if they break the 2 minutes, they will have a chance of being in the final. I think Edinburgh were the fastest time at 1:56. Loughborough were the fastest with 1:56.22 in the earlier heats, but that's 1:02 after the backstroke and breaststroke splits. As they move on, I would envisage that they will break the 2 minute quite comfortably with the butterfly and freestyle legs to go. So they will be looking at getting into the top 10 positions. As they're moving in, that's 1:32.24 at the split. And they're moving in, they will be aiming for, as I say, a sub 2 minute time to cement their chances of getting into the A final, and they hit it at 1:58.18. By my calculations, that should be good enough to get into the A final. But then for the other swimmers, it's Bradford. Bradford are going to come in and touch in second place ahead of Chester and Aston. So it's Chester in second, Bradford in second place in 2:25.17, followed by Chester, and in fourth it is Aston. The teams for Heat 2 of the women's 200 metres medley relay are York St John 1, Hull 2 in lane 1, Kent 2 in lane 2, University of Central Lancashire 1 in lane 3, in lane 4 Gloucestershire, in lane 5 Reading 2, in lane 6 Bangor 2, in lane 7 Edge Hill 2, and in lane 8 Northampton 2. These are your teams for Heat 2 of the women's 200 metres medley relay.
Pool 1 are ready. This is Heat 4. Next to Pool 2, Heat 2.
Full-time scores. What's the result for Glasgow? What? So after surrender in Glasgow supporter, victory over Sale at the Carrick Stakes.
Over in pool number 2 there, this is Heat number 2, York St John in lane 0, Hull in lane 1, that's Hull 2s, Kent 2s in lane 2, UCAN 1s in 3, Gloucestershire 4, Reading 2s in 5, Bangor 2s in 6, Edgehill 2s in 7, Northampton 2s in 8. On to the butterfly leg in Heat 4 in pool 1, Plymouth in 0, King's College in 1, Oxford Brooks 2s in 2, Manchester
Manchester Net 3s in 3, Bangor in 4, East Anglia 5, Southampton 6, Imperial 7, York 2s in 8, and Chichester in 9. Leading it out then, the Imperial. They're going to take this one, but turning well and then 0 actually.
And at the halfway stage, it's University of Central Lancashire that lead Gloucestershire, Edgehill and then Reading.
Holding on long enough to take the victory. Plymouth in second, Southampton 2s in third place. 150.25, the fastest time as well. Great swimming from Imperial. In fact, a correction there. It's going to be Imperial first, Plymouth second, King's College third, Southampton just missing.
And after the butterfly, it's Gloucestershire have just sneaked in front of University of Central Lancashire. And a great takeover there by the University of Central Lancashire. The Gloucestershire swimmer seemed to go just a bit too deep, and the Central Lancashire just got there and just moved. And she's opening it up as she opens it. And then you've also got chasing through in lane 6, you've got in Edgehill 2 are pushing through. Are they going to snatch it at the end? I think she's just left it a bit too late. And in first place is University of Central Lancashire 1. Second place was Edgehill 2, and then Gloucestershire finished in third place. That is your 1, 2, 3 for Heat 2 of the women's 200 metres 4x50 medley relay. The teams for Heat 3 are Oxford Brookes 2, Lancaster 2, Manchester Met 3, Liverpool, Coventry 2, Reading 1, King's College, Bournemouth 2, Liverpool John Moores 2, and Aberystwyth.
Next in pool 2, Heat 3. Underway in pool 2 to Heat 3 as we hand over to the final leg in pool number 1, and this race is in the balance. Bristol
And leading away in this heat, it's Liverpool.
in lane 8, Harriet 1 in lane 3. That looks like the battle for 1 and 2 for the Harriet 1 swimmer, finishing incredibly strongly, and they're going to take the W. Harriet 1 first, Bristol second, York in lane 5, quick enough for third. Both Harriet 1 and Bristol under 150 for the relay as well. Heat 3 in the women's sport, Oxford Brookes going in 0, Man Net 3s in 2, Liverpool in 3, Coventry 2s in 4, Reading in 5, King's College in 6, Bournemouth 2s in 7, Liverpool John Moores 2s in 8, and Aberystwyth in 9. Next in pool 1, Heat 6.
So Reading are now pushing past Liverpool, but Liverpool are coming back strongly. This will be an interesting last section. A bit of a slow takeover there by Liverpool, but Reading have hit it running and they're pushing back at it, but it seems to be opening up a little gap there. This turn will be the deciding factor, I presume. And a great turn there by the Reading swimmer, and as they open up a 3 or 4 foot gap there. And there's going to be a win in the time of 2 minutes 9.33 from Reading. Liverpool second in 2:11.38, and King's College third in 2:17.58. And for heat number 4, we have in lane 0 Manchester 3, in lane 1 Kent 1, lane 2 St Andrews, lane 3 Oxford Brookes 1, lane 4 East Anglia 2, lane 5 Leicester, lane 6 Southampton 2, lane 7 Portsmouth 2, lane 8 Hull 1, and in lane 9 Chichester. And that's a good start up in lane 1 from Kent.
145.93 the winning time. Aberdeen ones in second, Southampton ones in third.
So Kent leading with opening with a 2.3 second lead, and now with the breaststrokers it's quite close between Chichester, Portsmouth and Leicester, and it's moving through with the Portsmouth edging into second place with Chichester and Southampton pushing back. And they're closing down on the Kent swimmer, and it looks like Portsmouth are going to pull into the lead at the halfway stage. And there's a quick finishing from Leicester. So the Manchester have taken the lead from Portsmouth and Leicester. And this is going to be a tight race here with Portsmouth, Leicester, Kent, Chichester, Manchester all in with a chance there. So it's very tight, but it's Kent from Portsmouth from East Anglia. They're the three that are ahead, and it's Kent that are starting to pull away from the other two, but a good turn there by Portsmouth. But the Kent swimmer looks like she's going to hold on. She's starting to pull away there. So it's going to be a win for Kent. So Kent touch first in a time of 2:07.56. East Anglia second in 2:08.99. Third place goes to Manchester in the top in 2:09.78. And then Portsmouth in 2:09.99. So first Kent, second East Anglia 2, and third Manchester 3. The teams for Heat 5 of the women's 4x50 medley relay is Newcastle 2, York 1, Imperial, Northampton 1, Southampton 1, London, Bristol 2, Strathclyde, Warwick 2, and Manchester. This is Heat 5 of the women's 4x50 medley relay at the Speedo and BUCS Short Course Swimming Championship 2019.
Absolutely flying. 25 metres to go. They've got a 15-metre lead. It's a splash and dash for second place. So now let's go back to pool 2 where they're ready with Heat 5. Underway in pool 2 for Heat 5. The result from Heat 7 in pool 1. Nottingham ones taken in 143.64. Liverpool in second place. Durham ones in third.
And Good opening salvo there from Strathclyde, but on the backstroke, really powering away. They've got a lead of 5 metres already as they come to touch. So it's Strathclyde from Northampton, from Newcastle, from Southampton. And the breaststroker just stretching out there, just keeping the lead for Strathclyde over Imperial and Northampton and Southampton. They're starting to edge slightly into the lead. It's down to 4 metres here as she comes in to halfway turnover. And it's still Strathclyde in the lead from Southampton and Northampton. So Portsmouth now pulling, Strathclyde now pulling away, and they're opening the lead up here as they put in the freestyle swimmer, and then it's tight in the end. It's Southampton and Northampton with just over 0.2 of a second splitting them, and Strathclyde are now just really going for it to try and make sure they can get into the final, into the A final at the end of this challenge. And they touch in 1:58.87. That may be good enough to get into the A final. Second place will go to Northampton, followed by Northampton. So Strathclyde win it from Southampton and Northampton. They are your first 3 in Heat 5. Now we move on to the penultimate heat of this afternoon session. It's Heat 6. In lane 0 will be Cardiff, lane 1 will be Exeter 1, lane 2 Kiel, lane 3 Leeds 2, lane 4 Aberdeen 2, lane 5 Lancaster 1, lane 6 Portsmouth, lane 7 Exeter 2, lane 8 Coventry 1, and in lane 9 we will have Plymouth. This is your penultimate heat, Heat 6 of the women's 4x50 medley relay.
Next is pool 2, the penultimate race of the session, Heat 6.
And a very good start there from Portsmouth 1. Their second team had a good race in Heat 4, but Portsmouth 1 are opening up, and then Exeter are then pushing it with Lancaster and Exeter either side of them. And Portsmouth 1 still in the lead. And 1 or 2 swimmers, especially the Cardiff swimmer, is coming back at them. And Lancaster are pushing them as well, so they still lead just marginally at that turn. But a good turn by Lancaster has pulled the swimmers level. And at the top of the pool you've got Cardiff. They're firing on, and they're going to touch first at the halfway stage. So Cardiff have turned it around, and they lead by 2.5 seconds from Lancaster. And it's Cardiff moving away at the far side there, driving on. And they're going to touch, and it's going to be flying back here. We've got is Lancaster are coming back at Cardiff at this point. It's only 2 meters in it at the top, and they're all now going in, and then with Keele starting to push it on. Still a marginal lead for Cardiff over Lancaster, but that was a good turn by Lancaster. They're starting to drive back at them. They're moving forward. It's not much in it. It's neck and neck as they come to think. Lancaster look like they've just started to edge in. And have they got the touch? They have the touch. They've managed to get the first place there. They out-touched Cardiff by 0.37 of a second. So a good swim there by Lancaster to overcome Cardiff, who had a good start alongside Portsmouth. That is, so the positions are: first was Lancaster 1, second was Cardiff, and third was Keele. And that was heat 6 of the women's 4x50 medley relay. We now come to the final event of this stream. It's heat number 7. In lane 0 we have UCL. In lane 1 Sheffield Hallam 3. Lane 2 Bangor 1. Lane 3 Sheffield Hallam 2. Lane 4 was Surrey 2. Lane 5 Durham 2. Lane 6 Cardiff Met 2. Lead 7 Leeds Beckett. Lane 8 Glasgow 2, and in lane 9 is Liverpool John Moores. And a good start there for UCL at the top with a good backstroke start there, so they're going to turn at the start of the first 25 in first place. But as we've seen before, it will all come out in the wash when you've got if you've got a strong backstroke swimmer, then you've got a breaststroke, butterfly and freestyle at the end. But it's going to be UCL who touch first. In second place is Glasgow 2, then Sheffield Hallam 2. And that start has almost been overcome by Glasgow and Sheffield Hallam. And coming through is Sheffield Hallam 2. But Glasgow 2 are just pushing ahead at the moment. They're opening up about a half a metre lead over the rest of the teams. And then it's tight between Bangor, Sheffield Hallam 2 and Sheffield Hallam 3. But it looks like Bangor is going to separate them at the touch. It's Glasgow first, Bangor second, then Sheffield Hallam in third place at the touch. And Sheffield Hallam 2 are moving into second place, so it's still Glasgow 2 in the lead and Sheffield Hallam coming back, and then it's Bangor and Sheffield Hallam 3. But coming through in the middle of the pitch we've got Durham 2, so it's going to be nip and tuck, but it's clear at the touch. It's Glasgow 2 from Sheffield Hallam, from Durham, from Surrey, from Bangor. It's very tight for third onwards, with 1 second separating the next 4 swimmers. But it's very tight here. Glasgow are there and Sheffield Hallam 2 are going to be neck and neck coming up. Glasgow have got the slight edge at the moment, and the Sheffield Hallam swimmer is moving quickly. It's going to be tight. Who's going to get the touch as it comes in? Who's going to stretch it? It's going to be Sheffield Hallam, who win it by 0.2 of a second from Glasgow and from Durham. So that concludes the swimming for this afternoon on the women's pool here at Ponsford International at the Speedo and BUCS Short Course Swimming Championships 2019. You can join us at 6:15 for the live streaming of the finals. They will be on the men's pool for this evening, and you'll be listening to Ewan commentating. The events we've got the women's 200 metres freestyle, we've got the women's and men's 200 metres freestyle, we've got the women's and men's 50 metres backstroke. There's a B final for both and an A final. You then have a A and B final for the 50 metres breaststroke. Then you have one final for the 100 metres butterfly, one for the 200 metres backstroke, and then you have the women's and men's 50 free, a male, a B and an A final, and the 200 metres breaststroke. and we round it off with a B and A final for the 4x50 freestyle relays that we swam earlier today. Before we go, we'd like to thank our partners of Speedo, Camp America and the Bright Network. Without their support, we wouldn't be able to provide what we offer to the students. But if you can't make it to listen to the finals, you can listen to the heats tomorrow. They will start from 9 o'clock. The men's feed will be on the North Pool with Ewan, the South Pool will be with me, Murray, and it starts at 9 o'clock. And the events that we have got are the 200 metres butterfly, the 100 metres freestyle, 100 metres breaststroke,